to another episode of Porch Talk. Before we start in this episode, I just want to go over a few things. If you are in the Tazewell County area or in close driving distance, I personally would like to invite you this Sunday to attend Life Church in Cedar Bluff, Virginia, located in the Claypool Hill Mall. Pastor Brandon there and the whole church family has been wonderful to us, and it's just a great experience every week. So I just wanted to use this platform I have to invite you guys this Sunday to the service. Also, big announcement. We've been working on this for a few weeks, and happy to announce that we are partnering with Blackberry Winter. Blackberry Winter is a charity organization here in Southwest Virginia. They do a lot of amazing work in our area. We are very happy to be even just a small part of sharing who they are, and the mission that they have. The president from Blackberry Winter, Terry Crawford Brown, she was nice enough to give us some clips. In these clips, she's going to share more information about who they are, what they do, and some of the stuff they might need. We would also like to advise you guys to go and follow them on Facebook to get more details. After the announcements, after I get done running my mouth here at the beginning, we'll have a message from Terry, and then in between each interview, I've placed some of the clips that she has sent us, just to kind of give you all some information there. So yeah, be alert to those. Don't skip over them. And again, be sure to follow them on Facebook. Final thing, we are in the process of getting a business to sponsor us, a local restaurant. We'd also like to extend that offer. Just if you have a business in Southwest Virginia, if you want to get an ad out here on our episode, just message us. Message me personally on my Facebook or Jamar or the podcast page. We will continue to go through the playoffs and then through high school basketball, and we're going to continue to do our weekly high school interviews with the kids and the coaches. And basketball season gives us a little bit more flexibility with the amount of games and the games kind of just happening every day. So we will continue to do our special guest series that we haven't done here in a little bit, and we'll try to get some local legends that you all, the older ones, may have grew up watching, and or even the younger ones hearing about, and we'll sit down with them and let them discuss their whole life and how they grew up and into their high school careers and even further. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for those. But again, as far as sponsors go, if you want an ad on the podcast, just message one of us and we'll see what we can come up with. That's it for the announcements, guys, and I hope you enjoy the episode.
This is Terry Crawford Brown with Blackberry Winter. So if you don't know what Blackberry Winter is, it's a nonprofit that I started in 2018, and we take donations of gently used furniture and give it to people who are starting over from nothing. It doesn't matter why that they're starting over, illness, fire, addiction. We help a lot that come out of the domestic violence shelter. So we are based in Southwest Virginia, and since 2018, we have furnished almost 700 homes. When I started doing Blackberry Winter, I realized that a lot of children in our community were sleeping on the floor, and I think children struggle to learn and grow and to feel loved sleeping on the floor. So then that became the second prong of what Blackberry Winter does. We provide beds to children in our community, and so far we have provided close to 1,500 beds in Southwest Virginia.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Porch Talk. This is episode 42. We're happy to start this episode off with Ridgeview State Champion Volleyball team. We have some of the players from the team. If y'all don't care, do you care to introduce yourself and the position that you play?
I'm Makinley, and I'm the setter. I'm Leah, and I'm the middle hitter. I'm Mackenzie, and I play outside hitter. I'm Tsega, and I'm a middle hitter.
I guess first of all, congratulations to all of you all. Great accomplishment. For the players, as far as coming into this season, going that far last year, and y'all coming back, what were some of y'all's expectations? Was like a goal just to win district and region, or did you have an idea? You might have a chance to get back to state.
We've had the idea the whole season. I mean, we didn't want to say we're definitely winning state, but we've always had that in the back of our minds, and that was the goal the whole year.
Yeah, I think it drove us a lot this year. Losing last year in the state quarterfinals, we knew we wanted to go even farther, so I think that kind of gave us more motivation. Losing last year, we did have a lot of motivation from the state quarterfinals. I think that just had something on us, so then we knew next year's going to be our year, and plus that was our goal the whole season.
Yeah, every year we always brought down our goals, and we accomplished a lot of them. And yeah, I think that helped us out.
Yeah, just kind of sticking on the off season before going into the season. We kind of already figured out expectations and kind of where y'all's mindset was. But what are some things you all did to get prepared for the season? Were there any off-season camps or individual workouts or anything like that y'all did?
We had open gyms throughout the whole summer, and we had some team camps over the summer, and just a lot of individual work, like for me personally, working on timing with hitters still, and that's just something that we've always done for me.
Yeah, same. I worked out through the off season, not continuously, but I still kept, active and in shape while I was in season, and going to summer stuff really helped. Yeah, me and Tsega both, we worked out during the spring when spring sports were going on, and then we started up in gyms, and we went to a few camps and played as a team. We all showed up all the time and just had fun and stuff.
Yeah, what Kendi said, and we always stayed after practice and always hit, and I think that got us, our timing and stuff.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk a little about the season. I want to hold off on the state championship and the tournament right now, but just want to talk about the regular season. How do you guys think you grew as a team from the beginning to the start of the playoffs?
Well, we did grow. Everybody's bond with each other and our connection with each other, you could just tell was different from the beginning to the end. We were all really close. Each and every player was. We all loved each other, and that just grew throughout the whole season.
I think we challenged each other every day too, and that helped in practice, and we just knew our potential, and we just we worked hard every day, and I think that really helped us grow closer as a team, just working hard together. I think the one thing was that we encouraged each other a lot. If somebody was down, we pick each other up, and we were just always there for each other, and we worked hard together.
Yeah, like what Makinley said, we had a really great bond, and I think that is really good.
Get away from volleyball for a second, and we can come back to it. Just to get you all know y'all personally, what are some things y'all are into, some hobbies outside of sports, like what we find y'all doing on weekends?
I'm kind of a stay-at-home buddy. If we ever go out, it's just going to games and watching other games and stuff for me.
Well, a hobby I like to cook. It's a big thing I
like to play ping pong.
Well, I like to go shopping with my friends and hanging out with my family.
Yeah, same. I mean, I usually like to just to take naps all the time. So really, I do.
Yeah, we had who was the player last week? We had a kid from East Side said that's what his hobby was too.
He was procrastinating
argue.
was a hobby of his. He said,
"Oh yeah, that's what it was." That's some great answers. I'm gonna take it back to the volleyball side for a second. Talk about some of your teammates, just some players that maybe didn't get the spotlight but had a really good year, and just give you an opportunity to kind of shout them out.
I think Jada Dingus did a really great job as libero this year. She stepped in, and she had some shoes to fill because her big sister was the libero last year who did a really great job at it. And I think that she was very confident, and that made a big difference. I think she was a great teammate. She was always encouraging everybody, and I think that she did a really great job this year as the libero.
I personally think Brooke Beavers, she's a sophomore. She came up from sitting on the bench last year and, was a big game changer. When she was on, she was really hard to stop, and I saw that added to her great offense. I think Kenzie Ramey, because he is one of the best passers I've seen other than Jada Dingus. She sat on the bench last year, but, you do that once you, start learning. And I think that's a good thing also. But she came in this year and she knew what her job was and she done it. She's probably one of the best passers. And I'm proud of her. But she is a really good contributor to our team.
I'll say Alyssa Kaiser, she has stepped it up. It's her first year and she's done a really great job. It's like amazing. Her first year in varsity, she done amazing. And
what kind of music are y'all into? Kind of favorite artists, stuff like that. And also, I usually ask if you had a UFC fight this weekend, what would be your walkout song? But we're going to change it up this weekend. Chris told me y'all do a thing where y'all have like a walkout, individual walkout that a song plays before games, I guess. So if you had one song you could come out to before a game, what would that song be?
Mine would be Back in Black because it gets me pumped up.
Eye of the Tiger.
It's a good one.
God, I'm not a true.
Probably some Drake song.
It is. I just can't think of the lyric.
Mine would probably be Entertainment. Is that what it's called?
Tsega.
Tsega would not let us play that.
She would never let us play that. Here's
We didn't have anybody say Adele, and that's a very popular answer with football players apparently this year is Adele. A lot of them really like Adele.
Chris, he's an Adele lover.
Yeah.
Skyfall.
We've had a wide variety of answers.
Yeah, we've had anything from Frank Sinatra to Zach Bryan to Adele. Yeah, it's definitely been all over the place. So I want to go ahead and ask the players just your thoughts on the coaching staff there.
Well, Chris and Holly are the best coaches that I think we could ever ask for. They're always so encouraging and they put in so much time to us and they care about each of us and they make practices fun. Not only are they making us be better every day, but they make it fun for us every day. And we're going to miss seeing them every day and practicing with them.
Yeah, the biggest thing, they've always believed in us, Wait, sorry guys, I love y'all. So, y'all push us to our potential and y'all really, challenge us and you know what we're capable of and that just means a lot and you're always encouraging and positive and you're always there to help. Well, first off, y'all are the best coaches I've ever had or I've been coached under. One of the big things was if I was struggling, I could come to them and be like, listen, this is what's going on. And they'd help me as much as they can. And then they try to help me to reach my full potential. And they took the time. They're just really good coaches.
Yeah, they're probably one of the best coaches I've ever had. They're more than coaches to me. We're all like a family, and anytime I'm struggling, they're always there to help me out. And I love them so much.
I love you guys.
For a few weeks now, leading up to Thanksgiving, and even though it's past, I'm gonna give you all the same question: ham or turkey?
Ham all the way. Turkey's too dry.
Ham, more flavor. Yeah, ham.
Okay.
Yeah, ham.
And if you could only pick 3 sides, what are they?
Oh shoot, that one's hard.
Oh, I don't know my.
You go then. Let me think.
Dressing for stuffing, mac and cheese, and mashed potatoes.
I'd say green beans, mashed potatoes, and stuffing.
Mac and cheese, stuffing, and sweet potatoes.
Deviled eggs, mac and cheese.
Christmas, talking about Christmas dinner now, what is your favorite Christmas dessert?
Well, I always make a fruit pizza on Christmas.
what?
Don't know why, but a fruit pizza.
Okay.
So that's my favorite.
I eat the dessert. I don't. But I get so full off of the other food. I don't eat this. I don't know. I don't have one. Strawberry pie.
I don't think I have one. No,
So boring.
I don't even know if we even make
Uh,
sense.
Well, I was going to say, I also would struggle to find a Christmas dessert. I'm kind of on that side of eating, and then I don't mess with the desserts usually.
your top 3 favorite Christmas movies, and we can't debate about Die Hard, so you can put it in or not, but we don't have time for that debate, so it's up to you all.
Mine's Home Alone, Elf, and The Grinch.
Christmas Vacation.
Oh, Christmas Vacation. I forgot. That's over The Grinch. Christmas Vacation over The Grinch.
Christmas Vacation, Home Alone, and Christmas Chronicles, like 1, 2, 3.
There's 3.
Three. There's 3. The Grinch and the Polar Express.
The Grinch, Home Alone, and Polar Express. Yeah.
Those are 3 good
yeah.
ones.
This is the last one for me. This might be a hard one. I've not done this one before. Let's say they made a movie about y'all's team this year. Who would each of you want to play you in the movie?
Oh, gosh. I don't even know. Who was actors?
Like any type of character
Any
from a
actor
movie?
or actress, whoever you want to pick. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
If you were doing the
That's
casting for the movie,
me.
and they said, "Hey, what actress do you want to play you?" Who would you pick? It don't even have to be current.
Oh, they can they don't what if they're old now?
Yeah, you can say them in their younger days, however you want to do it, in their prime, whatever. Just any actress.
Jennifer Aniston. She's.
I don't know. That's hard.
You can be.
I'll be. What's her name?
I don't. Courtney Cox.
Courtney
There you
Cox.
go.
Monica, our friends.
We know right here. Mom, Big Haddish.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably the girl from Love and Basketball. Probably that one.
It's like that's all I had. I just want to tell y'all before Cameron gets his question. We appreciate y'all's time. I've had fun. This has been a good one, and congratulations again on a huge accomplishment. Obviously, something
Thank
you'll never
you.
forget, and a lot of people wish they had one of those, and I'm sure community's proud of y'all and everything like that. So, good luck, future, whatever y'all do, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
I have just a few more, and I'll try to be quick with them, so not to hold you all up. But I do want to hear from you guys. Winning the big one, win the state championship. Just describe how that felt.
It was the best feeling ever. I mean, we worked so hard the whole season, and before season even started, we just been playing since June. And just knowing we had that, we wanted to win it all for so long, and once we actually won it, it honestly didn't even feel real. I still felt like I was supposed to go to practice on Monday after, but it's an indescribable feeling, really. Just being able to do it with all your teammates and your coaches that you love. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, I think all this, hard work has paid off. All the time we spent playing and all the memories made. It's awesome. It was an awesome experience with the best group of people. Well, when the last point was scored, I just remember it just felt surreal. Just the feeling knowing that we did what we said we were gonna do, and just we worked so hard, and losing to Abington twice, I think builded our chemistry even more, and knowing what we can do, and then we pushed ourselves to our goal, and it felt awesome. It just felt awesome.
I mean, it was a crazy feeling. To this day, it's unreal. I don't know. I don't know what words to say, but it's crazy. I'm gonna miss playing with all of them. I'm just gonna miss it all.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a huge accomplishment. And like I said, a lot of people just dream of even, getting there, being in the conversation, much less winning it. Just got 2 questions. First, do you have plans on playing volleyball in college? If not, what are your plans going forward?
I don't really plan on playing college volleyball. I'm just going to focus on school, and I'm wanting to be a teacher.
Yeah, same. Don't have plans to go I want to go into dental hygienist, hopefully. I'm not really sure yet. That's what me and Chris and Holly have been talking about. I'm not sure yet, but if I don't, then I want to go to school, pharmacy school, and do all that, go through college, get my degree, and then go to pharmacy school.
I don't think. I've decided I don't think I'm gonna play in college, and I either want to go to ETSU or Virginia Tech to pursue a career in the pharmacy stuff.
I got one more question. I kind of just end all of our interviews like this. But I first want to say congratulations to all of you. And pretty much the same thing that Jay Moore said. I mean, it's just a special thing. Not many people can say they won a state championship. So you'll always have that. And for the coaches as well. I mean, it's special for everybody. Selfishly, I'm very thankful that y'all decided to come on and giving us the opportunity to interview you all. So thank you for that. But the last question we always ask all the players, biggest motivation you all played with?
Well, for me, every game, obviously I'm not going to be perfect, but every game I told myself, don't let a ball hit the floor, be aggressive all the time. And just that type of motivation in my mind gave me, I don't know, it made me want it more for, myself.
I guess, trusting in myself, knowing what the potential I do have, and knowing the type of player I am, just stepping out there and be just positive thinking, I can do this, not thinking negatively to myself, just, I'm going to do this for me and my team. And that was just what I always thought before I stepped out on court. Well, 3 things. Number 1, my dad. I think if he would have been here, he'd want me to do the most I could, play to my potential, play even harder. So that gives me a lot of motivation. And my teammates, they always motivated me. And I just knew I wanted to do that for them and to, play hard so, we can reach our goals. And just knowing I'm not going to let a ball hit the ground. I told my teammates many times, you're not letting this ball hit the ground. Or when I go up to swing, even if I didn't get the kill, I'd be like, listen, I'm going to get this kill and score. And I try to find ways to score. So that kind of motivated me.
For me, I told myself it's my last year and I don't want to look back and regret anything. And I think that really helped me out and it pushed me and my teammates too. It was always there for me.
Thank you all for coming on, and great answers, great interview, and just like Jay Moore said, good luck going forward. Thank you all.
Thank you. Blackberry Winter doesn't step in when someone needs just 1 or 2 things. I did when I first started this, but there wasn't enough donations to maintain that, and it would end up that people who had nothing, I wouldn't have enough furniture to give them. So we don't help when people just need a living room suite or a bedroom suite, or it's when people are starting over from nothing. With the recent hurricane and floods, we've had almost double the request. People have lost their homes to water damage and trees and things. We also help people when their houses is burnt, or if they've been sick and they've lost their home because of illness. People have been imprisoned. We work with the Department of Corrections, and when the parole officers feel like they are doing well and need a hand up, they'll come and get the furniture for them and take it to them.
All right, guys, we're here with the strength and conditioning coach for Graham, Coach Mike Horton. How you doing, Coach?
Well, I'm doing great, man. It's an honor. You guys have me on here. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate you coming on. Coach, just for the people who don't know you, can you give us just a short summary of yourself?
Yes, sir. Guess I'll start with, first of all, I want to thank God, He's my Lord and Savior. Just want to give Him His. It's a big part of my life and a big thing that I try to share with all our kids. Next off, man, I'm married. I have 3 kids. Very proud of all 3. I got 2 girls that's graduated from Concord College. Very proud of. And my youngest, his name is R.J. Harrison. He was a two-sport star at Bluefield High School. He just graduated last year, and he's playing two sports at Bluefield State College right now. So I'm very proud of him. Next up, I'm a native of McDowell County. I graduated from Mountain View High School in 1991. I was a two-sport star there myself. I was a all-state baseball player and all-state football player, and proud to say I was a part of the only football team that made the state playoff appearance in 1991, still to this day. So I'm very proud of that, and I'm a proud McDowell County, and we all are, you know. Went to Concord College, played a couple years of football there. After that, after some years later, I started my coaching career at Mountain View High School. Did a couple years there. And then I've been coaching at Graham High School for the last 7 years. Other than that, man, I'm a power lifter. I've been doing that since the early 2000s. So been doing it quite a while, and I'm still pretty active. Do 1 or 2 meets a year this year, and strength conditioning coach currently at Graham High School. And the fact that I still compete and active really helps me get the guys' attention, man. It's one of my biggest secrets. That's about it, man.
That's awesome, Coach. And I know we listened to Coach Palmer's interview there with Fresh Off the Clock the other day, and you know he mentioned you're almost like a second head coach, especially in the off season. And so I wanted to ask you. I know we're kind of backtracking a little bit, but you know before this season, what's some of the stuff you did just to get the guys ready, you know, to get prepared for the season?
I would like to say that just give Coach Palmer his credit. I really respect him as the head coach as far as he really allows his coaches to coach, you know, and that's a lot of coaches can't do that, but he trusts us to coach, and I appreciate him for that. And yeah, he says that in the off season, I'm the head coach. Him and I are there every day, along with several of the other coaches. They're in and out, but him and I are there every day. And you know, in the beginning of the process, we just try to get the guys back moving, you know, back blood flow, just general purpose, working out, conditioning, just very lightweight stuff and running and exercise just to get back moving. But then the meat and potatoes of our program is a powerlifting background, of course. So we go into a powerlifting peaking program for about 8 weeks after we get going good, and then we'll peak out and we will max out and see where our numbers are, and then we'll start the process over again. And we'll usually get to run it 2 or 3 times, and then once the spring comes, though, we really put an emphasis on speed and conditioning work and getting outside and running and really getting to the conditioning part. And big part of our process, of our success, our kids are really, really dedicated to the off-season program. And it shows later in the season, like now. We're usually the most dominant physical team down the stretch, especially the second half. And I hang our hats on our off-season conditioning program.
It seems, I may be wrong on this, but it seems like you all are usually pretty healthy also. They don't hear about a lot of injuries as far as like compared to some of the other teams. I would imagine a lot of that goes into your program and in the you know the stuff y'all do. Is what part of that? How is that? Is anything different about? I guess. Well, I mean, I don't really know how to word it, but conditioning wise, like what sets you all apart maybe from or strength conditioning? Is it just the same stuff? Y'all just work harder, or is it just the numbers you get? The kids buy in more because you all obviously are, like you said, are ahead of most teams you all play in that aspect for sure.
To the whole workout thing, period. There's no tricks. It's all about the effort and the energy that the kids put into it, and the consistency. That's pretty much the magic answer. They're really consistent, man, and we are high energy, man, high effort. You know, half the year, man, we going at it hard, and in hopes that it converts over to the field. And yes, it's not all about getting strong. It's definitely about injury prevention. So we do a lot of stretching, a lot of speed and conditioning work. It prepares them for the season, and we like to feel like we found a formula that works.
Yeah, I think y'all definitely have. And I mean, you already talked about Coach Palmer a little bit, but I think that a program like this definitely has to have the whole entire staff kind of bought in as well. And so I just want to give you an opportunity, if you want to talk about Coach Palmer again, but also talk about the whole staff there, just how you all guys work together.
Oh man, I hope I don't leave anybody out, but like I say, Coach Palmer's a great head coach who knows how to take a back seat and let his guys work. We have another Coach Palmer. His last name is Palmer also. We call him Snake Palmer. He is our defensive coordinator. He is our X's and O's guy on the defense, man. And I mean, he works his magic. After a game, before he lays down, he's already on the field for the next team. So he's a big, big, big part of our success too. Also have a Coach Rex Bradshaw. He is also a defensive guy. He's really hands-on with techniques and stuff on the field once we get out to the field. He's been around. I think he's been there the entire time Coach Palmer has. We have another play caller this year. His last name is Bradshaw also. His nickname is Poopy. We call him Poopy Bradshaw. So X and O's guy. These guys live and breathe and sleep football, man. Also, we have ex-NFL guy on the staff. He's actually my spiritual brother. Me and him probably the spiritual leaders on the team. Ubreno Isabel. Oh my God, he is full of knowledge, man, and his gift is being able to touch the kids and also on-field adjustments during the game. Oh my God! So everybody have their gift and their contribution, man, and we all are like brothers. We're a big family, and it just works well, man. It's just can't explain it. I actually made a post on Facebook the other day and said, hands down, the greatest high school staff ever assembled, and I really feel that way in my generation, anyway.
It'd be hard to argue with it right now for sure. The success y'all having and sustaining it. Have you ever had a former player get into powerlifting or any kind of lifting competition, anything like that, and that you know of?
Yeah, I had one of the kids. I love him like my own son, and I always tell him he's my poster child. His name is Sean Hughes. Sean Hughes was an H-back and a linebacker for us. He graduated last year. He's currently at Ferrum College playing football and got a lot of playing time this year as a freshman. But I started training him as he was in the 8th grade, and I had him all the way through. And he's still up on my board. He had a 600-pound squat, a 550-pound deadlift, 365-pound bench press. One of the strongest kids I've ever coached, and I love him. He's just a great kid, and can't say enough about it.
There are some very impressive numbers. Definitely. So, just to keep on the whole trend with the players, what are some players like this year on the team that have made huge strides on the field, but not only on the field, but even in the weight room?
One of the first ones come to mind, Gabe Lilly. Gabe Lilly is our backup quarterback, and he's a running back, and I think he's currently our leading rusher on the team, and probably one of the leading tacklers too. He's a kid that I have to run out of the weight room, and I love kids like that. But we're in a constant battle. We don't do too much, but I mean, he's been with us for 2 years now, and he's really put on a lot of size and raw strength, and it's showing this season. He's having a breakout season. Amari Hill, who was my nephew. Amari Hill has the strongest bench on the team this year. He came to us. He's a 4-year starter. He came from down at Mount View. That's where he really came from, and they really didn't have a really good weight program there. But the last 2 years, he's really picked it up and took some leadership in the weight room. Once again, it's showing on the field. Ubrino Isabel, Jr., that is. Another kid that's like a son to me, works his tail off in everything he does. He's made a lot of strides in the weight room. Another kid is a lineman, Jermonte Hendrick, 300-pound kid, 6'2", 300 pounds, was really out of shape 2 years ago. But this last offseason, he put the work in, and I think he was our strongest squatter. Pretty sure he was about a 500-pound squatter. Another lineman, Zabo Kennard. He's our left starting tackle. Just a sophomore, squatted well over 400 pounds. And those are just a few that I can name off the top of my head. I think last year was the strongest team in terms of I had a couple kids squat 600, but this is my strongest overall team. I got 5-6 kids squatting 400 pounds plus, and this is just a great group right here. Very talented group, young too. So I'm looking forward to the next couple of years. It's going to be out of this world. I just don't know.
As far as just the community in Graham, it's always a good atmosphere every game I've ever been to over there. I'm sure you all have them spoiled. Obviously y'all continue success year in, year out, but they seem like a fan base that doesn't take it for granted. They show up and always bring a lot of energy to your games. Just speak on that community over there, what it means to be part of it, how they kind of embrace you all, and because it's technically kind of a small town, for a 2A school. I don't know what the numbers are exactly, but it kind of feels like one of the smaller 2A. But this, from your perspective, what's it like in that town?
Have to go back to that word family. Family atmosphere, great people, reach out to everybody and just make everybody feel at home. Like, for instance, I mentioned my nephew, Amari Hill. He came from Mount View, and you'd never know it. These kids, this community take these kids in and just treat them like their own. We get the best uniforms. We have the best of equipment. And over the summer, during the 2 days, the food menu is out of this world. I've had people that coached in college and played in college, and they say it's better than some colleges. So, it's, as coaches, we look forward to the hard work in the summer 2 days because of the food. But there's nothing. We have some doctors on our staff. We have Dr. Morgan, who's a surgeon, on our staff, and we have Dr. Dales, who's a chiropractor. Anything our kids need, they're right there. It's no problem. So get the best of care. It's unexplainable, and the community is just as big as a part of the program, as the players are. It all works together. It's a great place to be right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that to have success like y'all have, you have to have total buy-in from the parents, community, coaches, players. And it seems like it's all just meshing together perfect for you guys. Something I want to talk about is that group of seniors that y'all got. I can't remember the exact stats, so you might be able to fill me in, but I think on Facebook here not long ago, the picture is floating around. I think they had maybe lost, 1 or 2 games, regular season games. And so I just want you to be able to talk about that group of seniors.
This group of seniors, I think, I want to say they lost only 2 regular season games. It's something like, and they got like 31 or 32 straight home wins straight. And just to sit back and think about that. But the thing is, these guys came in under some great guys who set the stage and the foundation for them. And some guys I can think of, Brody Meadows. He's at Virginia Tech. He's a highly ranked offensive lineman. Just a great kid, great work ethic. We'll probably see him on Sundays one day. And all these kids got to start under those guys, man. And they just really set the foundation for them. And these kids just do a good job keeping it going. And like I say, man, just the dedication that they show, man, year in and year out, it's a full-time job, man. And it's tough. But, man, they know what the reward is. We've been successful, and, but they're still hungry, Each group wants to go out on top, so hopefully this seniors right here, this will be the icing on the cake. They'll have 2 rings if they finish the job. And pretty sure that'll be another record in Graham School's history, along with the home win streak. That's a record already. That was a very special group right here.
I asked some questions not related to football. Some guests try to get to know you a little better. So these are kind of off the wall stuff. So the first one will be what kind of music you listen to? Who's some of your favorite artists? And also, if you had a UFC fight this Saturday, what would be your walkout song?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm really not a big music guy, I don't know. Of course, I listen to a lot of gospel music. I'm a Christian man, and I just can't. I don't have one favorite song right now.
Yeah.
No, man. But listen, I'm a Christian man, but I still listen to their music too. We live in the weight room. We let them play their music, man. So there's a lot of rap music going on too. I don't know a whole lot of those new artists, man. But I don't know. So my walkout song, man, I don't have one for you right now, man. I can't come up with that for you.
That's always the hardest one that we get everybody with.
Yeah, that's tough for me.
Yeah. And a good bridge, I think we talked about this with a few Ridgelands players. One of them listened to a lot of gospel music, and we were talking about KB, which is kind of a bridge between that and like gospel and rap. And that was one that we kind of had talked about a few weeks ago. But definitely the walkout song has got everybody. And even the pregame music, you will hear, we've heard Frank Sinatra, we've heard Zach Bryan, we've heard Adele quite a bit the last few weeks.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
Yeah,
it's been a wide variety that you wouldn't expect for sure.
Yeah, it's been different. So this Friday, or this Saturday rather, huge matchup. I think going into the year, Glenvar was supposed to be one of the the better teams. I think if I'm not mistaken, they lost out to the state champs last year, Radford, and that was a very special group there as well. So this Saturday's game is a huge one. I don't want you to give anything away, X's and O's. Not that anybody from Glenvar would probably be watching, but but just mindset wise, what do you got going into Saturday for the players?
Well, there's nothing really different this game. We always go in to assert our physicality on everybody. Like I said, we take pride in our weight room and stuff, and we always want to be the strongest team, the most physical and hard hitting team, and apply pressure to everybody that we play. And usually we come out on top. I like our guys. We got guys all over the field. I feel like as far as talent-wise goes, nobody has as much talent as we have. And I think our defense is the best one in school's history right now. So, man, I really, we really hard to score on. And we have a motto that Coach Bruno Isabel says every week. If they don't score, we win. That's the motto. We got 5 shutouts so far.
That's a good one.
Yeah, well, just another one of those random questions I've been asking everybody. We've been asking this one leading up to Thanksgiving. I'll go ahead and ask you anyway, even though it's past. If you could only pick between turkey or ham, which would it be?
Oh, I'm a turkey guy all day.
Okay.
All day long. They don't have to have no ham. I want turkey again for Christmas. And the rest of my family won't ham.
Yeah. And
Turkey all day.
what are your 3 sides that if you could only pick 3?
Macaroni and cheese. By the way, I make that in my house. Sweet macaroni and cheese. Potato salad. And the dessert, banana pudding. Gotta have it. Gotta have it.
Yes.
I like the banana pudding. That was a wild card there. I haven't
Yeah,
got to that one yet.
My wife makes that for every occasion. I love it.
I'm with you on that. The banana pudding. Yeah, that's a very good answer.
Mark, yes.
What are some? This can be from your playing days, coaching days, whichever. What's been one of your favorite places to go play, and what's one of your least favorite places?
Favorite place to play
besides Graham, obviously, or Mitchell Stadium.
Favorite place? It has to be Salem, where the state championship is played at. You know, I think since in my 7 years, we've played there 4 times, so it's kind of like a second home to us here, and I look forward to getting there. So I mean, it's hard to pick that over Mitchell Stadium because Mitchell Stadium is A1. I mean, but I have to say Salem, because that's where the big ones played at. Least favorite place is Marion. In 2018, we went to Marion to play. It hadn't rained in days, but for some reason, it turned out to be the muddiest game I've ever been a part of in my football career. It hadn't rained in days. I don't know what happened. But, I mean, our shoes was coming off on the sidelines, the coaches. I mean, almost every snap was a fumble. But we had a kid named Cam Allen that played at Purdue. He was our quarterback. He could turn lemons into lemonade. So he fumbled every snap, but then ended up scoring. But so I still don't like going to that field. It wasn't that muddy this year, but I don't like going to that field. Worst memory in football ever.
It's funny how that works sometimes.
Yeah,
we've seen a few fields like that.
The Salem answer is probably one of the best answers we've had on it, because I wouldn't think anything about that, but he's one of the few that we've had on that has been there enough to say it. But just that's a great answer. I love that answer.
100%.
I'm gonna say it, Coach. I was telling Cameron before we went to watch you all in Lebanon this year. I was like, because I've been to several of y'all's games over the last long time now, several years. But I said Graham has an assistant coach that is comes out sleeveless, and he is absolutely jacked. I was like, you cannot miss him. I was like, this guy is huge. And so I told Cam going in, I was like, just keep an eye out, you'll see him. And obviously when you come out, it's hard, you're hard to miss. But I'm glad we got to have you on. Just great conversation. Good to get to know you. But I just want to say good luck to you all Saturday. Hope y'all get one and go back to Salem one more time. We look forward to it, and but we appreciate it. But I'll let Cam finish up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess I got 2 questions now because I got to ask, do you rock the sleeveless even if it's snowing?
I rocked the sleeveless this past weekend in 30-degree weather. I had to do it. It's a mind game that I play with our guys. Our guys, especially the linemen, they don't wear sleeves, and they don't wear sleeves, so I don't wear sleeves. And I work with the offensive and defensive linemen too, so I'm closest with them. So it's a mindset. That's what we say. It's a mindset.
I do have one more question now that I think about it. Have you always went sleeveless since you've been at Graham? Is that a thing, or just every year?
I kind of probably the last 2 years went sleeveless, but I always went coatless. Okay. I would usually wear the coaching shirt, never wore a coat, or nothing under it. But the rest of the coaches, I call them sissies. But the last 2 years, I think actually it might have started state championship game in 2022, the last state championship we won. I think that's where I started it.
Okay.
That's awesome. I'm going to ask you one more. I didn't have this one wrote down, but I'm just curious. When your players do graduate, what is one thing if they was to be asked, like, hey, what do you think about Coach Mike? What do you hope they would say?
I would hope that they say that we know he loved us And, you know, he showed us God's love, and he'll always be there for us. You know, those are my biggest things. It's bigger than football for me. And most of my guys, especially my main guys, the linemen and the weight room guys, I mean, all the way from 2018, we still keep in touch. They're all like sons to me.
Until you love those kids just by hearing you talk about them, and I think we can tell you're a great leader of men. So I think that staff's lucky to have you. The kids are lucky to have you, and we're lucky to have you on here talking with us. We really enjoyed it. I think that's all the questions we got. But thanks again, and good luck Saturday.
Thank y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all having me on here. And man, any platform that gives the kids some recognition, because West Virginia and Southern Virginia, we don't get it. So, man, big ups to y'all, man. Y'all keep doing the good work, man. We appreciate that.
Thank you,
And
Coach.
one more thing I want to leave y'all with. Go G-Man.
We appreciate it.
Blackberry Winter partners with just about every agency that helps people in Southwest Virginia. We work with Child Protective Services, Appalachian Agency on Aging. We help the veterans. Anyone can get help from Blackberry Winter. They just can't ask for it for themselves. They have to have someone to help us help them. Someone that's not in crisis that can provide, trucks and people to come and pick up the furniture that's donated and that we are given to them. So that generally comes through a social service program, but not always. Sometimes it's family members or friends who are trying to help one of their loved ones that is going through a cold snap in life.
Direct step. Lane looks, steps up, trying to avoid the pressure. Lane looks to the end zone, looking for Jesse. He got it! Look, Jesse, touchdown! 20 yards out! Touchdown, Eagles! Oh, my goodness, Shane Horton! What just happened? Boy, that looked like a busted play, but Luke Lane able to let him stay, get some momentum on the ground. Wow, White. He rolled to his right. Threw off the hope, threw off the players of not just this team, but this community. And 25 ticks on the clock. They lead by 4, trying to go up by 6 here. My word. Wow. Unbelievable. Unreal.
Welcome back, guys. We're very excited to have on members from the Rye Cove football team who are now Region D 1D champions. So we have on with us Landon Lane, Blake Goins, Carter Roach. Thank you guys for coming on. So we're going to start off with this first question. And for the people that's listened to our show before, this is Landon's second time coming on. And so he's already answered this one, but I want to go ahead and shoot it to everybody else. The way we're going to do this, the order for the people that's not watching and they're just listening, we're going to have Carter answer first, then Blake, and then Landon on the other ones. So first question, when did you guys first fall in love with the sport? And then also, did you have any athletes you looked up to? It could be local or professional.
Pretty young. Definitely younger. I always looked up to my brothers. They both played, so I always try to be like them growing up, and just loved watching them and going out there and support them.
I fell in love pretty early, probably about towards the end of elementary school. I looked up to my dad because everybody always made him out to be some big football player. So I kind of looked up to him for it.
And great answers, guys. So, the last time we had on Landon, it was right there at Honeacre Week. Huge game for you guys. And I think that's where we're going to kind of pick up from because that is an important game, considering last year that was kind of the game that, kept y'all from getting the region crown. And I think it was a hump you had to get over this year. So I did want to make note of that game. We'll go ahead and, like I said, just same order. But, that game, what did it kind of mean to you? And then also in particular, Blake, when it gets to you, if I'm not mistaken, that's when you got hurt. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, when it gets to you, I also want you to kind of talk about that a little bit, just, going through, I'm sure there's a lot of mixed emotions with it. But y'all go ahead and shoot to Carter first, just the Honeacre win.
Yeah, it meant a lot because where they put us out last year, the year before that. So we knew we had to go in there. We were focused that whole week, and we just know we had to do our job, and it all play out.
Yeah, I went into that game very confident. My first time actually touching the field against Honeacre. And, I loved it. The game was pretty fun until about third quarter, whenever I snapped my collarbone. That wasn't very fun, if I'm being honest. We were just running the ball, and he called the same play over about 4 times, and then on that 4th time, I kicked it out a bit. And I think it was Avery Music came by and just threw me on it. Man, I knew it broke as soon as I landed. I felt it snap. It didn't hurt. I got up with that arm, and then it all just kind of hit me, and I kind of passed out. And I've watched the video, and Carter's just holding me up by my face mask. And then when he lets go, I drop. I just wake up, and I just hear the Honeacre coach go, "Yeah, it's broke." I just started bawling. I thought my season was done.
That's right.
No, I was just gonna say, this for you all, obviously, and maybe the reason you got back in the season. I'm with y'all tonight. I got my Pedialyte.
Yes,
I
sir.
remember. I want to be a part of y'all. I got the hat, got the Pedialyte. I'm ready to go. I don't know if I'll drink it or not. Maybe I'll wait till Saturday morning, get it drunk. But that's for you all. I'll make sure y'all know I'm on board.
Was that the secret?
Go ahead.
Was that the secret, Blake, to you getting back this season?
I ever drank Pedialyte.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't jump on the train with everybody. That's why.
I took it, and it tasted like medicine.
I might not drink it then. I may have to just be symbolic.
No, it's
with
good,
the
Jamar.
bottle.
I promise. Good for you.
I was kind of surprised when I went to buy it that I had to go to the baby section. I thought it'd be in the juice section of the store, but I had to go stroll through the baby section. That kind of surprised me. But
you don't find it in the sports drinks.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah, I was very surprised. I had to ask somebody that worked there. But anyway, I'll get off Pedialyte and let you go ahead, Lane.
No, it wasn't something we knew we had to get over that hump. It was a big game, and it was a test to see where we were really at. And since they put us out, we were working real hard. We wanted to get that game back and get back to where we were last year when we got put out by them. But getting that, we had a strong performance against them. I think we were firing on all cylinders, and that was a good thing early on in the season to just know that we have that in us. And it was a good game. And besides Blake splintering his collarbone, but hey, we heal from those things. Could have been worse.
We'll talk about the regular season a little bit. You guys were undefeated, a huge accomplishment even with just that. So congratulations on that. A few high points. Of course, you had some big wins against the East Side. It was 40-8. Then you had the close one against Chilhowie. I consider that a big win because of I think it helped y'all going forward. But just how do you think you guys have grew from the beginning of the year to the end of the regular season going into the playoffs?
Definitely a lot, I think, because we keep putting in the work, and just like the beginning of the season, we're still motivated. We still want to play. We want to play to the end, finish it off with the state game.
Yeah, most of the regular season, about 70% of the regular season, I spent my time being like the teammate, getting them made and folding the laundry while they was practicing. But anytime I could, I mean, I'd help out people that was in my spot on offense and defense. Because, I mean, I really wanted to help out the team while I couldn't really physically help out the team, you know. But, yeah, we really pushed ourselves from the beginning of the season to now.
Yeah, I think watching us week 1 to week 5, it just progressively gotten better. And, I mean, you know, we had a few games in there that wasn't the greatest, but, I mean, as a team, we've grown so much to learn how to win those tough games that might not be playing very well, but you got to grind them out and, you know, tough them out and win those games. And that Chilhowie game was a gut check. I mean, they came in there ready to play, and we were flat, and it wasn't great. But when you learn from those type of games, you got to come back next week stronger than ever. I mean, we finished those last 2 regular season games, and we were feeling pretty strong going in. It felt like a restart, you know. And you go back when we were watching film on this east side the first time we played, and we're like, man, we have gotten way better since then, watching those films and then watching the Grundy films and Roll Retreat and stuff like that. But no, for real, they understand it, and they want to learn each and every day to see what they did wrong in each game. And, you know, assignments, everybody's understanding their assignment, and they know that they have all the other 10 guys coming behind them to do their assignment. They just got to do theirs, and everything will take care of itself. It's just when you have your teammates to count on because they know what to do and they're there and they want to fill their assignment, it's a good outcome every single time, because it might not be perfect every time, but if they're doing their assignment, good things will happen. I think that's what we've mostly improved on.
Yeah, y'all talking about, you know, everybody being there doing, each 11 doing their job. I think it's kind of what makes you all such a dangerous team. I feel like you all are like, I don't think, you know, one of those teams, you don't really rely on 1 or 2 people. It's a very collective group effort. Like, it, you know, you really don't ever know what play. There's no real way you can focus in on one person necessarily for you all. I think it's y'all's biggest strength, honestly. And going into the year, I mean, obviously you had a lot of hype coming into the year, but a lot of teams have come into the seasons with that much hype and can't go 10-0. So like Cameron said, I just want to give y'all a shout out for actually doing that. I mean, that's a big accomplishment. It's hard to win all 10. At some point, a lot of teams will slip up at least one game. It seems like in those games y'all had close, you know, you figured out a way to win. So shout out for that. And then obviously, you know, winning district's first goal, I guess, every year, and then going on the region. But how good did that feel, just from each y'all's perspectives, getting that district championship, getting that 10-0? Just from, you know, that's got to be your original goal setting out. But especially where y'all were at a few years ago to now 10-0 and this year, just want to let y'all talk on that.
Feels pretty good just to know that all of our hard work, work in the gym, work on the field, just it all paid off, and just felt good that we done better than last year and got better.
Yeah, we came in this season with a lot of hype on us to be really good, and so we had to carry that weight every week. And like my teammates and coaches delivered on that throughout the whole season. I only got to help a few games, but winning district, that really boosted me up. Like, I was really happy with that. But we're never satisfied where we're at. So each game we won, it was Monday, next game. You know, always got to be. You can't really stay on one game. You gotta focus on the next one at some point. I think we do really good on that, and that's a big part of the reason why we are where we are.
Yeah, I think what Blake said with the, you know, it's good to get back where we were last year and actually come out successful and know that all of our hard work paid off and stuff. but we try not to get stuck on those because we just want to keep going and keep playing football until it's all over with. I mean, some of us, like me, I'm playing for the rest. I mean, it's win or go home, and I'll never get to, go back and play high school football again. So it means something more. Just like, winning a Region D championship is awesome and stuff, and we know that there's more ahead. So we try not to, linger on that, or we can celebrate that at the end of the year. But we're just focused on, winning this next game against Grayson County, and we can't, But don't get me wrong, this is a great achievement. This is where we wanted to be. You couldn't write any better. I mean, this school hadn't seen a region championship in forever, since I don't know when, like 2000 something. So, I mean, to be only the second team to do it is pretty amazing. And to have two district champion or district people in our district with it is even more crazy. Having Eastside playing us in it it's just good for our district and stuff like that. So I'm super proud of all the guys and the effort they put in all season. It's a long season, but I mean, they're still motivated and ready to go. So good.
Yeah, and we're definitely here in a few minutes. We're definitely going to dive into that game last week because I think we're all still trying to gather ourselves after that. It was a crazy one. But before we get into talking about the playoffs, because I do want to kind of hit on some high points throughout it, but I want to give you all a chance to talk about the roster around you and even the coaches. But we'll start with the roster. Just each one of you, if you want to give a shout out to any of your teammates.
I give a shout out to Lando.
That's my cousin Gritter.
He's just always there. He's supporting everyone. That no one don't know how to do anything. He'll be the best. He'll try to lift them up, help them through everything. Make sure they know what they're doing. Just help everyone. Make sure everyone's doing okay and not doing anything stupid and getting in trouble during school. Make sure they're coming to school and all that. So I think he for sure helps us out a lot as a leader.
I would also like to give credit to Landon because he's kind of carried this team on his back pretty much this whole season. All the younger kids and juniors, sophomores, and everybody, they all look up to Landon for guidance, I guess. Because, I mean, he really sees the field from every point of view and not even just the field. I mean, he keeps everybody straight in school. Just tries to get everybody on the right path all the time. And I'd also like to give one out to a former player and now coach, John Howe, because he went from being a teammate to the very next year being a coach, just like that, and teaching everybody what he knew and try to make everybody better than they are. He sees the potential in a lot of players and try and bring it out.
I would like to give a big shout out to Tyler Shoup. He is our scout team. He's quarterback. He takes some licks there in practice just to give us that look we need for mirroring people's offenses and all those scout team players. Shout out to all of them. I mean, you might not see them on Friday, but I mean they're putting in the work to try to make us better on the defensive side of the ball and offensive whenever they run defense against us. So I mean, Tyler, he's great spirit. He loves football. I mean, you can't say enough about him. He's everybody loves him in the locker room. He's funny, but he definitely helps us a lot with getting the right looks and stuff. So.
I'm gonna give a quick shout out to obviously y'all's O-line. Those dudes, they're some big boys over there. I don't know if they're doing something besides just Pedialyte because they're eating healthy over there. That's whatever y'all are eating, feeding them boys, they need to keep it up. But they do a fantastic job every week. It's obvious up front that they they set the tone for you all every week. It stands out for sure. Particularly in that Grundy game a few weeks ago. I remember we were watching. It was it was several yards of a push before y'all really handed the ball off. So shout out to them, offense and defense. But I'll also want to shout out y'all's community over there. They've kind of embraced us on our show this year, and we got a lot of interaction with them. But every game I've been to, home or away for you all, has been crowded, loud, enthusiastic, and one of the best fan bases that I've seen at games. So I just want to get your all's thoughts. We've kind of talked with Landon about it last time, I think, but he can answer again. But just that community, that support you feel from them every week, from a player's perspective, how is that each week, knowing that's coming, and just from y'all's individual perspectives.
It's definitely exciting, and I love it. It's just being on the field, and it's just something different when you look around and people around the fences, like all the bleachers are filled, the stadium's filled. It's just crazy. And like every time we score a touchdown, you have the horn obviously, and then people in the stands are shooting confetti off and stuff. It's just crazy how loud it gets. Sometimes you can't even hear the person right beside you, like calling the calls and stuff. It's definitely a good thing.
Yeah, I feel like how our fans are is really how we play. Honestly, if our fans are really excited and loud and we got a bunch of people there, then we're excited and ready to play and ready to give them a good show. And I mean, I'll look up in the stands, home or away games, and see more fans for us than for any other team we play. Like home games, we'll have maybe triple. Away games, we still got more, and it's just a blessing to have the amount of people we got supporting us. When you go back 3-4 years ago, when we wouldn't even have half the bleachers filled, and now we got people. We're having to get in new bleachers for people not to be sitting around on the fence and people parking down the road, and it's great.
I think it's a great thing for this community. I mean, some people that maybe you hadn't seen in years at those games coming out to watch these games, because I mean, it gives you something to look forward to every Friday for them. Like, I mean, they're pumped all week. I mean, it's nonstop. You hearing about the fans, what they're talking about. I mean, we try to not let that stuff get to our football, really, and try to stay locked in. But I mean, they travel well. They're loud anywhere they go. I mean, they're not going to be quiet no matter if we're up 40, down by 40. It doesn't matter. They're going to be cheering, I promise. And I mean, they're our 12th man. I mean, I feel like it's like going and trying to play in Kyle Field, and Texas A&M's over here. It's loud as can be in there. I mean, it's just one of those places to play. It's just difficult to play because it's so loud, but I mean, that's a blessing to us in disguise. I mean, maybe sometimes we can't hear, but when we come up and make a good tackle, they're going to get rowdy, and that just gives you, I mean, it just gives you a boost of energy when you come up. You're excited, and now everybody in the stands is standing up, blowing horns. Just, I mean, it's great to have. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better fan base.
Yeah, I didn't. I've been to a few games. I didn't realize there was even any horns there. I never really noticed.
You got another one.
Yeah.
Well, that bighorn probably busted your eardrums or something. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, if you can count on the death taxes and the horns at Rye Cove for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
He actually left vacation to come back for the Eastside game because they said something about the horns not being there. So he left vacation to come back and make sure the horns were there.
That's dedication right there.
Yeah, I mean, and that big one, no matter how many times it goes off, and I know when it's going off, it gets me every time. And it might be because we're down towards the end zone, so it's like right next to us. But
it's just a massive ship horn. It's I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, we were in the locker room the other day, and where it sits is like right outside the locker room. It was shaking, rattling the locker room, and it's especially terrifying when you don't know it's about to go off and it's dead silent in there, and the thing busts your eardrums.
Not a match. Now, is the Horn going to make an appearance this Saturday? Is it still?
I'm sure it will.
I'm sure.
I was curious.
I guarantee.
With the VHSL, the way they're picky about things. So I was curious.
I don't know.
What? I mean, you can't stop it. I mean,
No.
you'll get one or two at least out of it. So,
I mean, the difference between those and the little ones, is, I mean, people may blow those little ones, but I think he only blows it when we score a touchdown or something. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know.
I think you're good. I think the rule. I think you're good on having it there. I think obviously it's as long as it ain't during play, it's all good.
Yeah. So, before we get in the playoffs, I want to give you an opportunity also to shout out your coach, Coach Collier, and not only him, but some of the assistant coaches, just anyone that you want to shout out in particular, but just on your coaching staff.
I'd definitely like to shout out Dion Salyers. The amount of time he spends on offensive or defensive plays and watches film, it's nuts. Like, he can just look at the way they're set up and know exactly what they're running, the way he watches it so much. And, I mean, he spends countless hours at home watching film for us and make sure we know what to do and what to read, where to be at. So definitely a big shout out for him. It helped us a lot.
I like to give a very important shout out to Coach Collier because he started all this. Go from forfeiting our season to getting him next season, and he really changed our program around. He raised money, brought fans out. He really saw the talent that our team had, and knew he could get it out of us, and that's what he done. He made a great coaching staff, like Carter said, with B.I. Salyers and Coach Sean Lawson training Big E to be the absolute monster he is. He makes Ethan work all year round, and it honestly pays off. I see it out there. And Coach Norris, he works on offense pretty much every day. Like, we go over every play with him, and he's real dedicated to getting our offense pinpoint. And no coach is ever satisfied where we're at. Just shout out to pretty much the whole coaching staff.
I'm gonna give a big shout out to Coach Norris. It's more than football with him. I mean, most of the coaches, all of them really are more than football, just helping us on and off the field. Keeping us, they treat, like, the way that we do things is preparing us for life. The way they make us keep bathrooms clean, holding us accountable for stuff that we do. Like, we gotta keep if we don't keep the bathrooms and the showers and the locker room vacuumed and all that, you gotta run and all that different stuff. But Coach Norris is just, he's just a positive person to be around. If you mess up or something, he's not gonna come get up in your face and yell at you, but he's gonna make sure that you understand what you need to do. And just very easy to learn from. He's great to have around for sure. But all the coaches, you can't say enough about them. They all do so much for this program and this team, and it's just a big happy family.
I'm gonna jump away from football for a minute, or probably for the majority of mine here. Cameron will come back, but I'm gonna get to know y'all a little bit. What are some of y'all's hobbies outside of sports? What can we find y'all doing? Weekends, evenings, stuff like that.
Probably just hunting, fishing, and working on my truck, something like that.
And that was such a country boy.
Carter,
come on, that was the most redneck thing I've ever heard.
I'm pretty sure it's a Luke Bryan song.
I'd say it's a Luke
Bryan song.
Fishing, loving every day, brother.
Or
yeah,
we're just
with that.
hanging out with my brothers and
there you go,
doing stuff with them on their razors and stuff, and just hanging out with them.
I'm just joking, Carter. I love you.
Yeah, my whole week pretty much plans around football. I don't our coach praises for all the football players to get advanced PE so they can work out, but I couldn't get that. So every day I'll go to school, go to football, come home, work out for an extra 2.5 hours. Then I'll play video games the rest of the day. I mean, that's pretty much all I can do. I mean, sometimes I'll go out, play pool. I'll beat any of y'all in pool if you put some money on it.
I'm a pool shark, buddy. I will.
There we go.
Give me all your money.
But
It's
yeah,
a
be
good
good.
competition right here. Last week we had argument about who was better at PlayStation, Xbox. This week we've got pool competition. So y'all going to have to play and let us know who wins.
I
I say we
definitely give
take
you
it.
a run for your money.
I say we take it to a ping pong table.
Ooh, ping pong.
There we go.
I got all y'all beat in ping pong.
Carter is by far the best at ping.
You're lying. I
I beat Luke
him
twice.
at ping pong.
But anyways, yeah, I just spend most of my time. I even have a notebook where I have plays written down. So on weekends, I'll look at those and I'll still make blocking assignments. Oh my God, did the coaches get mad? But I you know.
Sorry.
Just every now and then. But
Just every now and then, though. Hey,
Hey,
those are
we're good.
fixable in practice, though.
thanks the ball.
Yeah. Monday through Friday, or now Saturday, it's usually football. And then I'll just come home, eat supper, probably play like Call of Duty or college football or something like that with the fellas. And then I had I think until last week, I go play golf every Saturday after the game, early in the morning. Get some of that soreness out at Scott County. So that's where you'll find me on Saturdays. And then I'll go to church on Sunday. And yeah, that's a week of Lando's off.
Yeah, great answers, guys. I'm gonna jump on the football side again. I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about the playoffs. We'll go ahead and go into the round 1 and round 2, and I want to kind of combine them together a little bit. Just the overall feeling of getting those 2 wins out of the way and securing your place back in the region championship. Rural Retreat, they were a good team. I think they're a very sneaky team this year because nobody, or at least us, were kind of unsure how good they could be because they had such a hard schedule. And y'all ended up having a very impressive win there. And then Grundy. I mean, Grundy was what we thought was going to be a close game, and you all proved us wrong on that. I mean, they were one of the hottest teams in Southwest Virginia when they played you all, and I don't remember the exact score, but I think it was like 60-something or maybe 20-something. So just overall feeling, getting those first 2 out of the way and securing your place in the region championship.
It definitely felt good to get those out of the way and focus on the championship. We've been wanting to get back there ever since last year when we lost. We knew we wanted to get back and win that game. But yeah, Rural Retreat, they definitely hit us in the mouth the first possession of their drive and then right after defense. So, yeah, but they definitely, we wasn't ready for that either. We wasn't focused. I guess we went in there flat and they hit us in their mouth and we had to get focused.
Yeah, our first playoff game this season was my first game back, so I felt like I had to make a big statement and prove that I was ready to play. And I mean, it was really my first game back, and I gave it my all, and we really delivered. Whole offense, defense. Like Carter said, they really punched us in the mouth that first drive when we was on D. But I say after our offense got in, we got the ball rolling and knew we had it and just didn't let up no matter what.
Yeah, I think getting that first game under our belt and preparing that week, pretty good week of practice, and then we came out and didn't fill our gap some places and let them score an early one on us. But I mean, everybody played pretty solid that game after that one drive. But no, they we played good offensive line. They were playing good. And when you can run the football with 4 to 5 different people, it's good, because especially getting Blake's fresh legs back. I mean, he hasn't played this season's long. People have been playing all year, and that takes a toll on your body as far as performing. But having Blake back was definitely a blessing. And then going in that Grundy game, it was anticipated. Everybody knew that Grundy was way better than what they may have looked at the beginning of the first 5 games or whatever that was, or had that tough schedule. But yeah, we came out. We were all focused. We had a good week of practice, and it was cold out, and we love playing in the cold. Personally, I do. I don't know if anybody else does, but I don't know. I think that, I don't know why, but I just love playing in the cold for some reason. It might hurt the first few plays of the game, but your body gets numb after that, and you don't feel nothing. So,
I'm against Landon on this. I mean, yeah, you're a bit warm during the game, but that day after, man, the soreness is like 10 times
yeah,
worse.
that I will say that is definitely a factor. Playing in the cold, you definitely get way sore than if you were to play in 90 degrees. Those first 2 games were solid, and they were a good stepping stone to get, back to that region championship and see how that played out. And it was just a good 2 solid wins to start us off, especially keep us motivated.
Jumping back on my side of things here, what's the music y'all like? Each of you individually, who are some of your favorite artists? And we've asked Landon this already. I can't remember what your answer was, so you can answer
Frank
it again.
Sinatra.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give you a different one.
All right. But if you had a UFC fight coming up this weekend, what would be your walkout song that you would choose?
Probably like Welcome to the Jungle or something.
Bro.
It's a solid choice.
Welcome to the Jungle.
I can't think of anything right now.
I know. Come on, Critter. You got better one than you.
What do you like to listen to just random, anytime, say you're in your vehicle?
I've been listening to The Wax a lot this last little bit. Like that new song came out with What I Need. I like that. Just about anything. Ryan Up Kirk, Chris Stapleton, stuff like that.
If y'all can't think of a UFC walkout song, you can come back to it later. Ain't no pressure. But go ahead.
I listen to just about anything, whether it's country or rap or anything. I mean, if I were to have any walkout song, it'd honestly probably be by Creed. Any song by Creed. I like Creed a lot.
That's a great answer. I don't know about the UFC walkout, but just the fact you brought up Creed, that's a good answer in my book.
Like my playlist goes from Taylor Swift to Zach Bryan to Creed to Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean, it's got literally everything in there. I mean,
our locker room is pretty like diverse on the music genres. I mean, everybody listens to everything. It's not like one person doesn't like that music, but they have a different type of music they listen to versus what we listen to. But I mean, everybody kind of gets along with the music. I mean, nothing. I would say our music can switch up very fast, very quick, and in a hurry, because it can go from some slow, sad country song to like Glorilla or like some girly rap music. I don't know. It's just mine. I'm gonna go "I Fly Away" by Alan Jackson. We're gonna go with that because I would be going to be with the Lord if I got in an octagon.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you'd be pretty scrappy. You might not be giving yourself enough credit.
I can't fight. I promise. I can't fight. I'm not a fighter. Lover right here.
I thought the went into that one. And a solid solid song.
Carter, if you put him in the octagon, yeah, he's probably getting down.
Okay. I'm gonna go back. Some of y'all said we don't have to, just to be a real quick one, but PlayStation or Xbox? Which one y'all choose?
Xbox.
PlayStation. All day. See, it's all PlayStation.
I'm
Xbox all day.
against you, Luke, and I'm going Xbox all day.
All right, me too. Now
I
do y'all
really
what's
I don't have anything against PlayStation. That's just what I've grown up on. I mean, my dad had all the PlayStations, but I was an Xbox kid, so I just kind of stuck with it. I have a computer too I built, but I don't really use it for gaming or anything like that.
Yeah, I like Xbox. I mean, that's what I grew up with, and I don't really like PlayStation because if I play football with Trevor or somebody, I could probably beat him on Xbox. But I played him on PlayStation the other day, not knowing how to play, and I got beat about 69-9, and I blame PS. I blame it on PlayStation.
If you have a battle, you were talking with Yazir on that podcast about having the matchups. We could do like a Cumberland District one. We'll put up who's the best college football player? Trevor?
Probably either Trevor or Zach Lane.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
We're going to have to get that together then.
Yeah, we need to set
Hey,
that up.
We need also a golf tournament. Me and Jamar got to play together in it.
Absolutely, I'm down. Let me know when.
All right.
While we're saying we need stuff, let's get Pedialyte to sponsor Landon, please.
They said I was thinking about hair products next. I got to get these girls, on point for the game.
Get the what's his name for your place? What's it used to be from the Steelers? Used to do the head.
Troy Polamalu.
Yeah, you gotta get Troy to give you some commercial time.
Fun fact: somebody used to call me that in Little League. This guy that his son used to play Little League football with me, and he would call me every time he seen me. He called me Troy Polamalu.
That's a good player.
Also, sorry, I'm not. Shout out Notre Dame. This is what I do on Saturdays too. I got to watch Notre Dame fight.
Yeah, and you threw out Kyle Field earlier too with the Notre Dame shirt on, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, but we won there. Yeah. We won there. It's the SEC schools are just different. Notre Dame playing at Notre Dame is also very difficult. But I mean, I hate Michigan with everything in me, but playing at the Big House is also something that you really don't want to be a part of if you're the away team. So, but yeah, shout out Notre Dame. Let's go playoffs time.
Since Lando brought up football, I'm gonna say I'm a Cowboys fan. I'll bleed in.
I don't watch NFL.
Our head coach, but I'm the Redskins fan, and me and him are always going back and forth.
It's the Washington Commanders.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a 49ers fan, so
I'm a Raiders fan. We suck.
Well, I mean,
Detroit Lions
this year too. So
Detroit Lions 10-1.
Bro, Carter.
Carter, how'd you say?
Detroit Lions.
Oh, well, you're
having a good year. Congratulations.
Oh yeah.
Luke, anybody for you? So really, Carter's the only one having a great year.
Yeah, he's the only one happy in this.
NFL, yeah.
Carter's family's from Michigan though, so he ain't a bandwagon. I can vouch for him.
Cowboys just ain't had the opportunity yet. Just wait. It's our year. It's our year.
Okay, Mike.
Before I get into this next question, since we're talking about shirts, I guess now is a good time as any. Anybody has watched the show knows I'm not a Tech fan. But I lost a bet last week because I decided to do the dumb thing and bet on the game that we had this past Saturday. So here's the Tech shirt for those of you that were wanting to see it.
You're a cat. You're what's your mascot? Wahoo.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Nobody really even knows what they are. Right?
Hey, listen.
In
truth, I'm happy in some ways that we lost because now maybe we can get rid of the coaching staff. So I'm hoping y'all did us a favor. But
Virginia Tech ain't too hot either. I mean, they're pretty down.
Yeah,
we beat Virginia again.
Yeah, you beat us again. So I can't say much on that.
Virginia Tech is also a tough place. I went and watched Notre Dame play them a few years ago, and yeah, I mean, it was tough being a Notre Dame fan there. That's for sure. I got cussed out like probably 15 times, but I enjoyed it. And
Texas fan.
Everybody don't come at me, but Enter Sandman wasn't that crazy.
Ooh. Yeah, we're going to get off this podcast now. You don't talk about it.
It wasn't that crazy. Everybody was like, "This place is gonna shake."
You
earthquake.
you probably went. We've not been very good. It's a little different.
We
when you're not
almost
very good.
lost.
Oh well, that's. I don't know.
I probably wasn't expecting it to be
It's a
close.
good
No, but
environment when it's
no, it
when
is.
when it's better.
It's a
Like, we
beautiful
gotta be a
campus,
better
too.
team though. I've been there when the entrance has been a little lackluster. I'll be honest. Day game at 12 against a terrible team, and when we're terrible, and it's not as great when they're not very
I
good.
couldn't agree. Notre Dame, I've been to Notre Dame like 6 times or so, and every single time, I mean, it's crazy for me because Virginia Tech's kind of closer, so it's not as, crazy to be there. And going to South Bend is like, I mean, my dad was like a kid in a candy store when he was there, but it was, I mean, that place is pretty awesome for sure, though, too. But when you're playing those 12 o'clock games that against Florida State, it's not going to be too crazy, you know what I mean? So, but when that place gets rowdy, though, it's something it's pretty crazy.
While we're talking about college football, I would really like to go to a Penn State game. I mean, I've heard it gets loud over there.
Yeah,
Go to an all-white game, that'd be pretty crazy.
The whiteout. Well, they might host a playoff game here in a few weeks, so that'll be a pretty special atmosphere. First ever home playoff game. I'm sure it'll be a whiteout. It's gonna be cold, so yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. I ain't gonna be there, but fun to watch.
If it's up to the Big Ten, it'll start at 12.
Yeah.
I want to watch my Longhorns play this week because we played Georgia, and they kind of whooped our butts last game.
Yeah, what time's that game? Is it 4 or is it at?
It's at
4. Well, the way
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say the way y'all run the ball, and I think Grayson County runs the ball too. Y'all might be out of there in time.
Yeah, especially running the ball. Choose clock. I mean, for say Eastside holding the ball on us for that whole third quarter, it felt like running the football. So
yeah, but definitely.
A Blackberry Winter is an Appalachian saying. It is a cold snap in the spring after the blackberries have bloomed. And my mama used to tell me that when we would experience a blackberry winter, that the blackberries would be more hardy because of the cold snaps. So I named my nonprofit that because I love the way we speak, and I'm so proud of my Appalachian heritage, and because we all have cold snaps in life and need help from people.
Well, talking about Eastside, I want to get on this game here. It's the rematch, the region championship. There's so many ways I could describe this game. It was one of the best games that we've ever been to, and it was an awesome moment. I want to talk about a few moments in the game, but first, how did you all feel going into this one? Like, what was your mindset going in?
It was definitely pretty good. We knew they wasn't just going to come in and lay down, or they was going to fight the whole game for sure. And we knew we had to go out there and do our job, do the little things, and everyone had to be doing in the right spot and just be there for each other. And yeah, we knew they wasn't going to lay down for sure. So
we pretty much grew up being rivals with Eastside, so this was a pretty big game, knowing that they were better than they was when we played them. They had a few people injured that first time, and they got them back now, and they're a pretty tough team. Like, they're honestly really tough, and we knew they wasn't going to give up, and we knew it was going to take about everything we had to win that game. For a minute, I know people lost a little bit of confidence, but after looking at that touchdown pass, it was all right back there. Shout out to Luke for being number one wide receiver.
Yeah, for that throw.
I cried watching the video probably about 20 times, just because it wasn't even that we won the region championship. It was watching these people in the crowd hugging each other. I mean, that brings community together. I mean, you see people over here hugging each other that not even sitting beside each other. They're just so happy they want to hug somebody. You know what I mean? But we came out and prepared all week. And we knew what was ahead of us. We knew they were not going to just come out there and just be flat, and they were going to be firing on all cylinders. And we knew we had to be ready for, everything that they were going to throw at us. We, going into halftime, coach was, letting us know that we got punched in the mouth in the first half. We were a real gut check, because, looking around the room at the seniors in there, our underclassmen was looking at, and they don't want this to be our last game. We don't want it to be either. So we went out there and gave it everything we got and came on top with some very dramatic things happening.
You already kind of mentioned the play at the end. And I don't want to gloss over some of the things earlier in the game too. Like I mean, you had that heck of a kick return earlier, some moments like that. But I do want to, of course, talk about that last 2 or 3 minutes because it was wild. I mean, the whole game was a great game. And, kudos to Eastside. I thought they did very well, especially just going through some adversity with the turnovers and bouncing back. But that last 2 or 3 minutes, I kind of want to take you back to that. Y'all scored the touchdown, and then I think Eastside had the ball with maybe close to 2 minutes left. Luke Trent caught the touchdown pass off of 2 people's deflections. Crazy moment. And then, going into that next drive, y'all had a good kick return, and then of course, the touchdown. So just that last 2 minutes there, describe how that felt, because as fans, that was crazy. But being a player, was y'all just so focused in that you didn't really get a chance to, think about it? Or what was the vibe like on the sidelines?
Yeah, the sidelines was definitely, everyone was cheering, everyone was excited, but very nervous, scary too. For a second, I thought when they scored that tip touchdown, I was like, that ain't good. We gotta really do something. And then I know closer to the beginning of the game, they kind of stopped our defense a little bit, or offense. So I know we had to go down there and do something. It was definitely nerve-wracking.
Yeah, at the beginning of the game, I had that. I think it was 83-yard kick return straight to the house. So I honestly thought we had it right there. I was like, dang, this kickoff was that easy. Then the rest of these games gonna be just really easy. And then our defense usually starts out pretty slow. I think that first drive is where defense warms up to it, gets to know what they're playing against. So after that, and I scored that second one, I thought our defense was gonna look and really keep them from scoring, but we was in a dogfight that whole game. And I think it was Cole Barnett got that third touchdown, and they got that tip pass that. It was slow motion. I was sitting there, Will tipped it up. I seen it go straight to Cole, and I thought Cole was gonna tip it down, but it went straight to his hands. And I am gonna say a single teardrop went down my eye on that, because I didn't know, but I knew it was gonna be. Our offense really brought stuff we didn't know we had, and we pushed through everything to score again. Luke really came through on that catch.
I'd say those last 2 to 3 minutes was probably well, not the longest, but the most exhausted I've been all season. Just the amount of effort I was putting into every single play to try to gut this one out. I mean, on defense, I feel like it's probably my best defensive game I've had all year. And our defense has been pretty locked down most of the season, and, and when you really have to, lock in there, you got to make some big time plays. And we had some of those. Blake returning that was big jump start to the game. I mean, without that, I don't know where the game would have went, but, and then coming into when Cole scored that touchdown and there was about 2 minutes or so left, I was like, we got this. Come on, let's get a stop right here and let's end this thing. And we got them to, I think it was 3rd and something. And Will jumped up there and it was a little too high and he went through his hand. Cole tipped it and went right to Luke Trent. And I seen him run and I was like, that's just, when does that, that might not happen in the next 100 games you play. But, I was like, I just knew that I had to stay calm to keep them calm, because if I'm going to lead them down this field, we're going to have to stay calm and collected, because if we get too sporadic, we're going to make a lot of mistakes and not be able to move this ball. So I went to the sidelines and I was like, it's time. We've got time. We got enough time. And I think the biggest key to that drive, that touchdown, was, I believe it was Cole on the return, getting it to about the 46-ish. That was a big, that was big, because now you're not having to stretch the whole field. And then Luke made 2 good catches, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock. I think Coach had 3 timeouts at that point. And then I think we ran one other play that was incomplete. And then Cole made a really good comeback, dive and catch for a first down. And then Coach called timeout, and when we were trying to figure it out, what we could run to get somebody open, and I drew kind of a little play up for us to run. And it was originally there, but it was way too tight of a window to fit it in that and waste too much time if it's not completed. And Luke was, just making a move. You can't stand there when I started scrambling, and I got by Trevor, and I see Luke turn, and that defender bit a little bit, and I was like, oh, he's open. He threw his hand up, and I just chucked it down there. He caught that mug. Pretty. Yeah, but I couldn't ask for any better hands, because it's cold outside. In a big, that's not easy. Nobody can just go out there and make those type of catches just like that. So I was super proud. I looked up at the crowd as soon as I threw that and he caught it. I made sure he caught it, because at first I thought it was dropped. I'm not gonna lie, because I couldn't see it, and I looked up at the crowd and see my brother, and he's just bawling his eyes out. And yeah, that stuff means stuff to those people who went through this school and have dealt with, not he didn't win he maybe won 6 games his whole career, so this means something, because he's a big supporter of me, and that means a lot. But that whole crowd popping confetti, that was one of the loudest ones that I've heard of, the eruptions from a big play like that. That was probably one of the biggest ones I've seen, because I think we had a double overtime with Thomas Walker, not last year, but the year before. And that was probably the one that was closest to it. But that was, I can't stop watching the video. It's addicting. I don't know. Just watching Luke bring that thing in.
A beautiful play, and one that'll go through history. Of the school, and even in Southwest Virginia, that'll. Everybody talking about that for a while.
Yeah, I scrolled on Facebook.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I don't know if you all are far enough removed from it yet or not, but to really realize it and soak it in. But it literally, that play will be like one of those ones that will always be talked about for a long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a great moment in the history of Southwest Virginia. It's one of those games that people are going to remember forever.
Yeah, I was scrolling on Facebook, and I found the radio man who was giving the call in the game, and it gave me chills because the way that the excitement in his voice of him making that call was pretty crazy. And it was a special moment for a lot of people, and proud of, all the guys on the team for gutting that one out, knowing, how to win those games when it's not easy. You got to get, locked in. And because, that was a big accomplishment. I mean, we practiced those things in practice for those scenarios, getting on the ball quick, getting out of bounds, scramble drill, stuff like that to, for stuff like that to happen. And Luke did a perfect job of that. And, history,
I'm gonna do this a few more. I want to keep y'all very, very much longer. We can go through this pretty quick. I'm gonna skip the Thanksgiving dinner one. We'll go to Christmas dinner. What's some of your favorite Christmas desserts?
Desserts is probably banana pudding.
Man, you stole mine.
Can't go wrong with banana pudding.
I'm honestly gonna have to go with Carter on this, and probably go with banana pudding. I mean, it's honestly really
Yeah, I'm probably going to go with nanner pudding too because that's about the only dessert I really like. I'm not a big sweets guy. But yeah, that's probably it.
And your top three favorite Christmas movies.
Probably
I love
Home
Christmas.
Alone one. What's that one movie with
Chevy Chase,
it's like in an office.
Die Hard.
I'm not sure. What was it? That was Home Alone 1 through 3.
Good. That worked.
Like 4 of them though. I'm not even lying.
First two were the only acceptable options.
I'm gonna have to go with Elf, A Christmas Story, and Daddy's Home 2.
I'm going to go.
Listen, I didn't realize Daddy's Home 2 was a Christmas movie.
It is.
I don't think I've seen it yet. I've
Wild
seen
card.
yeah. So,
I'm going to go for my one spot. I'm going to go Christmas Vacation. 2, I'm going to go with It's a Wonderful Life. And I don't know, there's so many good ones. I could say the Santa Clauses or the Home Alones or I'm probably going to say the Christmas Story because that's classic. You always got to watch that on Christmas. Plays 24/7.
For my third one, actually, I'm just gonna do Hallmark.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jamie. What would you say, Carter? Which one you go with?
For number 3, I'm just gonna go Hallmark.
Oh, okay.
And
y'all turkey or ham?
ham.
Turkey. If it's cooked well, all the turkey I had on Turkey Day was pretty good. It can get a little bit dry, but if it's a good turkey, but most likely ham if it's
Turkey or ham, Blake? Which one you like?
Huge game Saturday, a special moment, not just for you guys, for the community. The Cove hosting a state semifinal game. I'm really happy that you all are getting to host it there. And don't get me wrong, down at Gate City, it's a beautiful place. I'm sure some of the other options would have been fun too, but it's something special about getting it hosted up there at the Cove. So, what's your mindset going into this game, and just just kind of taking that in, just being able to host a game there at the Cove Saturday?
Yeah, it's definitely win or go home. We don't go out. We go out there and play flats. You're going home. It definitely. I think it'll make a big difference with it being home, with our environment, and we're just used to playing there. We've played there the last three games. This will be our 4th game, so I think it'll definitely make a difference. But I think if we go in there and do what we're supposed to, we should be fine. Just do all of our job, do little things, and big things will build themselves out.
Yeah, I mean, it's really honor to have it at Rye Cove. I mean, we don't got to really travel anywhere.
we're really familiar with our field, and just having the home field advantage is just where it's at in these type of games. You know, you're always wanting the home field advantage no matter what game it is, but especially since it's a playoff game, this is really huge.
Well, yeah, it's definitely special because it just shows to it gives these guys confidence because they know that if they keep working, that they'll get that stuff. We work really hard to be where we're at, and it's paying off by giving us a extra home game. At home is playing for us when we're at the nest. It's a different feeling for us, and Grayson County is going to be traveling there for the first time. We're not familiar with each other, so I think that pans over well because it's hard to play an Eastside in the region championship. They've seen us already, so it's easier to game plan, but it's hard to beat that team twice because they're so familiar and we've already played. I mean, I played them 5 times or 4 times in 3. We played 2. We played last year in the playoffs against them. This year in the playoffs, 2 regular season games. 5 times in my career I played them. But it's just it's different because not everybody gets to travel up to these places and play Grayson County because you have to work your way up and get there to the state semis game because but it's definitely feels rewarding that we get to have it at home and a blessing for sure.
This is the last one I got. Short questions. I'm sure I'll jump in on something here, a little bit here and there. But if someone were to do a movie about your all's season and kind of where y'all come from over the last 3 or 4 years, you could pick any actor, current or past, doesn't matter. Who would you pick to play you in the movie?
Regular.
Okay.
Yeah.
We make it work. CGI is a credible thing.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
There you go. That's a good one.
Matthew McConaughey.
Chris Hemsworth.
Who'd y'all pick for Blake?
Chris Hemsworth, he says.
Chris Hemsworth.
Okay.
Awesome.
Got changed my.
Yeah.
I like it first.
I want Jake Paul.
Jake Paul? You look like Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Yeah, no, that's.
I can see that. You got
I don't know.
That's
Everybody hates Jake Paul. I'm personally, I don't think he's that bad of a fighter, but I think he's fun to watch.
I can just see the look, the beard and the hair. I can see that.
Can you tell me and Carter are cousins?
I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because we're cousins.
Yeah.
Carter, this is for you specifically.
Ritter.
Yeah. So I listened to Tailgate Talks episode today, and Coach Collier was talking about how much he was trying to get him to get you in the game last week. So I don't know that this is spoiling anything for this weekend. I don't know if it's any information that you don't want Grayson County to have. Not that they watch it anyway, but what's your health like going into this game?
As of right now, I'm starting on offense and defense.
Awesome.
Pretty good
That's
right
good
now.
news. Glad to hear it.
Yep.
Me too.
Awesome. Yeah, we were really excited to hear that, and that's something we were talking about amongst ourselves. Just kind of curious.
Give him a final send off. Fellas, good luck Saturday. I mean, I've said this about all y'all's games for the most part here the last few weeks, but I'm really looking forward to it. I really don't know what to expect. I don't know much about Grayson County, but I know they're in for coming into a hostile environment with y'all's fans, and I just know y'all. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I know nothing about them, but
We're about done. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask y'all this question. I'll go ahead and ask you this. Now, this question we finish with all our interviews usually, and Landon's already answered this once, so I got something different for him. But for Blake and Carter, what's the biggest motivation that you have when you got there and play? And then Landon, you're a senior. It's kind of I know you haven't got a chance to sit and take it all in yet because you're still focused on what's ahead. But just being the leader on this team, if you was to be able to tell the fans and tell your teammates just how determined are you going to be going into this game to get them to that state championship. But like I said, we'll start off first with just a motivation question. We'll send it over to Carter.
Yeah, probably definitely family. I have 4 nephews, and they come to every game, and they're always cheering on me. They have merchandise with my number and stuff and on it. It's definitely them. See them after every game, and just very thankful that they can be there and support us.
My motivation is really just family and friends and just the whole community. Like, my family's got friends from their work, from Kingsport or, Big Stone, coming to the games and really hopping Rye Cove up, trying to make Rye Cove seem like we're the best team in the state, and I do believe we are. But it's really my motivation to just prove everybody right and let them know we mean business.
I think being a senior, it's a tough place because, no matter the outcome, it's all going to come to an end at some point. But I definitely have a chip on my shoulder because I don't want this to be my last game, But I'm going to give it my all and my 110%, as many plays as it takes, to get it done. It's a team effort. The good thing is I got all these guys to count on too. Because, I did not make the team up. Just guys right here and, my offensive line, defensive line, everybody on this team is some part of this team. And, they have a big role in how we play. You might not be, the guy on the team that's, getting all these crazy stats or doing something, but you did help this team somehow or some fashion in practice, making somebody better, giving them the reps. I'll never forget those things and all the great memories that, come along with, playing football in high school and stuff like that. So it really drives me to, go want to win this whole thing because I'm not looking forward. I just want to, keep winning each week and do my all to, for this big family and, the community and everybody. So, I couldn't have much more positive words to say about everybody. I love everybody. And I love the community of Rye Cove.
Awesome. Yeah, great answers, guys.
The turntables, I'm going to turn a little bit right here, and you guys are going to be the question answerers. I just I don't know if they have any questions, but I was going to ask you, who is your Mount Rushmore of college football players?
That's a tough one. You may go first.
Yeah, that's a hard one on the spot. But yeah,
they don't have to be the best. They just, in your eyes, like for me, like a Tavon Austin will be up there just because of that legendary mixtape.
Like our favorite type more than anything. Okay.
Yeah. So for me,
it makes it a little easier.
Yeah. So I'm going to think of this more like a personal thing because the players that I watched growing up.
That's what they meant to you.
Yeah. So my 4 would be Tim Tebow. I still think he's probably one of the best college players ever, if not just one of the best legacies ever, the story and stuff that he had. So Tim Tebow. Yeah, and then Reggie Bush, he kind of gave you some of that feel like Tavon Austin did. He would electrify the game. That Fresno State game, some of those crazy plays. I know it's tough being a Notre Dame fan, especially the Bush push that one year. But
you can't even bring that up in here.
Sorry. So I got Tim Tebow, Reggie Bush. I'm gonna have to say Vince Young because of maybe the best college game I've ever witnessed in the Rose Bowl. He beat USC. And then my 4th has gonna be an odd one just because I don't really remember too many defensive players being in the Heisman running in the time that I've watched, or at least when I was younger. So I'm gonna say Ndamukong Suh.
Okay.
So ahead there more.
I'm gonna go Mike Vick. Number 1. I'm sure there's other guys from Tech that I could think of, but I just don't believe pick one over another. So I'm just
It
gonna move on
is
from there.
legendary for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. As bad as I hate to, because I hated USC back in the day, especially when he played there, because I can't stand Pete Carroll. But Reggie Bush has got to be on there for sure. Like
Yeah.
one of the most dynamic players and fun to watch. Let's see. I'm gonna go with this is a random one, but before Tech comes to the ACC, I kind of used to be a little bit of a Florida State fan way back in the day. Just I wasn't really a fan necessarily, like a hardcore fan of anybody in particular. I pulled Florida State a little bit, Notre Dame a little bit, Texas a little bit. But Warwick Dunn, I really liked him a lot growing up, like as a member when I was pretty young. He was for some reason one of my favorite players. And the fifth one, man, dang, it's tough. Not the fifth one, but the fourth one. I don't know, man. That's crazy. I would like to go defense. I'm gonna say
Got the host stumped.
yeah. Let's go somebody. I'm trying to think of somebody I watch play, but I can't really think of anybody. I will just throw Ray Lewis. I throw him out there. He was a great college too, and this was
Those Miami teams.
Yeah, anybody from that Miami team. But I love Ray Lewis, so throw him out there just because. But I really hate Miami though, so but
Yeah,
it's hard to say.
Notre
but,
Dame, they got to pass them too. Convicts versus Catholics.
Yeah, that's a good question. They put us on the spot a little bit.
A little fun to get y'all involved, because I can't really tell you how much we appreciate y'all having us on, because you don't understand how much it means to some of these kids to see their face on this, this podcast. And I guarantee I know plenty of little kids that watch this podcast from our community, and it means a lot. You might think that people don't watch it in farther away places, but you never know. I mean, I really think it's a very good podcast, and I can sit down and listen to the whole thing just because y'all are so easy to watch and, respectful and stuff like that. So, but I really couldn't thank y'all enough for having us on.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we appreciate that. And, I mean, just, it is nice knowing people do listen to it. But definitely the main thing is getting you guys some exposure. And I do like to think, we have heard a lot of younger kids talk about the episode, even back towards our neck of the woods. And that is pretty cool just as a person hosting it. But I'm sure it's even better being a player, being able to be on it, and some of these kids being able to kind of get to know you all. I mean, you all are like heroes to them. I have a stepson, he goes to Lebanon. So getting to hear Reese and Baker on here at the beginning of the season, it's really cool to him because, like I said, it's like superheroes, and I'm sure the kids in your community are the same way watching it. And hopefully, some parents probably should, the quality of athletes that you all are. I would be letting my kids listen to some of the answers and the way that you all approach the game and the type of people that you all are, so that way they can kind of build on that going in their own careers going forward.
Yeah, I think a big thing is watching these podcasts. I mean, it kind of it motivates them to strive to be the best athlete they can be, to maybe one day get on the porch talk and get to have these interviews and these special moments like this. And I think this really does attract a lot of younger people to watch, because I mean, we're just high school kids. I mean, we're not older people, so I mean, they kind of relate to us a little bit, because they're not too long, they're going to be in our shoes, trying to build our, keep our program going and, keep it in the state it is right now. So I feel like it's, this is a great outlet, and we're super thankful you guys do this.
Yeah, so we appreciate it, and we won't keep you up any longer. We appreciate your patience with us. Just how long it took to get on here tonight.
I don't know if Blake can hear us, but thanks to Blake also.
I can hear y'all.
I can't see him anymore on my screen, but
we definitely appreciate it, and good luck Saturday. We're gonna be there. We're gonna try to get there early. maybe eat some food. Hopefully it's a little bit warmer, but probably not. So we'll
Yeah.
see. But
It should be a little
nevertheless,
warmer.
well, the sun hopefully will be out, which is
Yeah,
different
I
than
mean,
last
2 o'clock
Friday.
game time.
Yeah. But definitely want to catch up with y'all after the game. I think my belief that y'all were going to be pretty happy after this one, but I know it's definitely not something you want to go ahead and chalk up already. But yeah, good luck Saturday, guys, and we appreciate y'all coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all so much for having us.
Thanks, fellas. Hey, good luck, fellas. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
We furnish all the homes for all the women coming out of the domestic violence shelter. I realized after I started Blackberry Winter that women don't go in the shelter if they have anyone to help them. So they are alone, and they go into the shelter with nothing but the clothes on their back. So when they come out, they have nothing. So it is so important, the work that we do there. I realized when we went in the first home, a lady out of the domestic violence shelter, and she had 2 little girls, and the lady worked 2 fast food restaurants, and they had nothing in their home. Nothing. Not a blanket, not a pillow, not a spoon. And I had the realization that, like, how long would it take her to get those little girls a bed? Would she ever be able to have enough extra money to afford a bed for them? And that just really put a fire in me that children deserve a bed, and parents who are doing their very best sometimes can't provide it. So that is one of the big things that Blackberry Winter does.
Welcome back, guys, and we're here starting our state semi preview, and we are lucky to have on Coach Sturgill from Chilhowie High School on with us. How you doing, Coach?
Doing well. How are you guys?
We're doing good. I know that when this episode drops, people ain't going to realize this, but it's pretty late at night, so we appreciate Coach staying up with us. We've had a long night interviewing some players and some other coaches. But before we get into the preview of the 2 games this week, we want to talk to you about, your season and some of the players that you have there. And so on that note, just overall looking at the season, I know that you all, you probably wish you won a few more, but I think there was a lot of good moments this year. So just overall, how much do you think you guys have grown from beginning to end?
We started off the year 2-1, or 2-0 actually. Beat Marion, always a tough rivalry game to start the year. Then had Burton at home, won both of those, and went to the Narrows week. Narrows has a solid football program, and we let a lot of opportunities get away from us in the first half of that game, and it kind of seemed from that point on, over the course of the rest of the season, that was kind of the story of a lot of those games, especially got into district play. I mean, our district was very tough, top to bottom this year. It felt like any team could beat any other team on any given Friday night. And, coming into the year, I was a little worried about our defense. We replaced a lot of starters off of, the 2023 team, and most of those were defensive players. And, but it was kind of the exact opposite of what I anticipated happening. It was kind of, our defense stepped up right out of the gate and kind of kept us in games throughout the year when we couldn't get clicking on offense. But, player-wise, Noah Hill, he was a senior for us. He had an excellent senior year. I think he had 57 catches, 920 yards, and like 10 touchdowns. And, he was a gamer for us, and, going to miss him moving forward in the next year. The Chapman kid, Asher, had a heck of a year. Of course, he's a 3-year starter, and I feel confident, from his freshman, through his junior year, he's continued to get better every year, and I'm excited to see what's in store for him next season as well. The running back was kind of by committee this year. Justin Gonzalez was, who was our starter all camp, all summer. And before the Tazewell benefit game, he tore his meniscus warming up. And so we were without him. We got him back. He was our kicker too, and we got him back for the PH game and Holston game, but he was just able to kick in those 2 games. So, he wasn't able to to tote the rock for us once this year. So, that was a little tough, and we kind of battled the injury bug throughout the year. We had 13 seniors this year, and I know towards the end of the year, we had about 5 or 6 of them sidelined. So it was, but got a lot of younger guys experience, and, we returned 8 starters on defense next year, quite a bit back on offense too. So I'm excited for the future.
Just give us a little bit of your background, graduated from, your coaching history, where you started, how long you've been at Chilhowie now.
So I went to Chilhowie. I graduated from Chilhowie in 2013. I went to Emory after that. Played football for 3 years, and then after my 3rd year, had a surgery, and that was I battled knee problems the entire time I was there. Right out of the gate my freshman year, I had major surgery, then had it cleaned up again my sophomore year, and then my junior year, had a groin issue and had to have surgery on that, and that kind of ended my playing days. And Coach Robinson was head coach at the time, and I told him I wasn't going to play my senior year, so he brought me back, and I helped Coach Matt Snodgrass, who's still my middle school football coach today, but he's also the head boys basketball coach here at the high school. I helped him in middle school for a couple years, then kind of worked my way up. And 2019, became co-defensive coordinator. And then when Coach Robinson left, and after the 2022 season, he had told me that he was he wanted this job to be in the hands of a Chilhowie person, just kind of the history and customs and traditions we have here. So, he's been a big help. He's still on my staff here. He coached me when I played high school football here, and I've coached him for years. And, a lot of my coaching philosophies have came from Jeff Robinson. I owe him a big thanks.
I also wanted to kind of give you an opportunity to talk in the community over there. It seems like a really tight-knit community, and seems to be the games that I've watched this year. I caught a few on NFHS, and I think y'all had a Friday Night Rivals game as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like y'all got some pretty good support there. So just give me an opportunity to talk about the community.
Yeah, our community and fans here in Chilhowie are great. Couldn't ask for anything better. It's got a true small town feel to it. And it doesn't matter if it's football, basketball, baseball. Our fans show out for everything. They love the Warriors here in Chilhowie. And, it goes as far as even fundraising. Past 2 years fundraising, we've been able to raise more money. And that's based off community support. Showing up road games, home games. It's an excellent community. I couldn't imagine coaching high school football anywhere else than, school I played at. And, this community so special, this town so special to me. And I'm truly grateful.
I think this year, obviously the Cumberland had, 2 teams in the Region D, but I think the Hogle-Higgy this year from top to bottom was the best district in single A for sure. Just didn't get all from one, top to bottom. It felt like there was no easy games, I don't think, in y'all's district this year. Moving into next year, and just you can talk about this year in general, but just talk about that district. What are some challenges, and how hard is that year in year out competing, and when there's going to be several good teams and usually a district favorite or a for sure contender coming out of y'all's district?
Yeah, it's the margin of error is so small. It's, you hear coaches preach little things all the time, but, you have teams as equally in talent as what we had in the Hogo this year. It was, it was tough. It was week in, week out once we got in district schedule. Of course, we had Rye Cove. Sam was right in the middle of our district schedule. So it was, it was definitely a challenge. But, every Friday night, I never had to question the effort of our kids. They showed up every Friday night ready, to give their best to Chilhowie football. And, I tip my cap to them for that. And, but as I said, margin of error was so small. We lost Holston 1 score, Retreat 1 score, tied with PH at halftime, and kind of had a rough 3rd quarter, and actually just like a rough 6 minutes in the 3rd quarter. And we were down 3 scores and just got away from us. The Honeacre game, it was, we let some opportunities get away from us early in the game there, some red zone possessions. And, once again, found ourselves, they score late, and it was a 1-score game. It was, it was very competitive district this year in football.
Yeah, and I think a lot of those games, like you said, could have went the other way.
Mm-hmm.
That Honeacre game I watched, and especially at the beginning, it seemed I think y'all really controlled the tempo, and a few things happened here and there, like you said, and kind of turned the other way. Momentum anyway. But I want to ask you about we talked about Asher before we started recording. Give me an opportunity to talk about Asher, because I just think that we mentioned him a few times on the podcast. I think he is one of those guys when you watch him, and maybe I'm thinking about this wrong, but just from the outside looking in, he's calm, cool, collected. He doesn't seem like he gets phased. So I want you to talk about him, but also kind of like a two-part question. Also, some players that maybe haven't got the spotlight, but definitely deserve some time or some airtime.
Asher, he's even keel at all times. Never too high, never too low. Just kind of the same demeanor. And something I saw for him this year that I didn't see his first 2 years is how he kind of stepped into a leadership role. We tell him, your best teams, your leaders, your quarterback. That they take pride. And Asher's through his first 3 years has pretty much just played quarterback. He's played defense sparingly, maybe in some prevent situations. But as I mentioned earlier, man, he's gotten better every single year. And, his work starts, he's a 3-sport athlete. He's a football, basketball, baseball player. So his off season for football is, you would think, would be very limited. But, after basketball season kind of ends, he rolls into that football mode while still doing baseball. He'll come on the weekends, throw with receivers, and he's constantly watching film, trying to find some little ways to improve every opportunity that he gets. And as a head coach, having a quarterback like that is, it's very special. Guys that are committed to getting themselves better, but when your quarterback plays better too, everybody else on the field seems to up their game a little bit as well. And Asher, he's been great, and I'm really excited to see what's in store for his senior year. Next year, we lose our top 2 receivers, Noah Hill, as I mentioned, over 900 yards receiving and 10 touchdowns. And, he made a lot of big plays for us this year. But, another senior was number 6, Rylan Williams. He had 47 catches, around 500 yards, 5 touchdowns. He was kind of our possession receiver. He was number 6 for us, moved the chains a lot. And, he did, as I like to say, he did a lot of dirty work on some pass patterns, whether it's pick plays, whatnot. Such a high IQ football mind, and understand how to get his body in positions at times. Teams are in man coverage, run that little bump route to give Noah that separation on some routes down the field. In that Rye Cove game especially, I think he caught in the fourth quarter 2 or 3 fourth down, 4th and 6 passes to move the chains, gives a chance to win that football game there at the end. Another senior, I think we lost Drake Grinstead. He's kind of a guy coming in this year. He's been a defensive only guy. And when our tight end, Dawson Toole, went down, he went down the Northwood game, and he was a 2-way starter for us. Drake, undersized, about 5'6", 5'7", 150 pounds. But, man, you were going to get his best effort every play. He played tight end, and, he gave us everything he had, caught a few touchdown passes there at the end of the year. Just a very coachable kid. And, you ask him to do anything, he'll say, yes, sir. I mean, that's the type of kid he was. On the defensive side, I think 25, Blake Robinson, he was a kid. We replaced all 3 of our linebackers from the 2023 season moving into this year. And, we wanted some depth at the linebacker position, and Blake was a kid that played some safety for us last year. And I made the decision over summer we're going to move him into the box at kind of the outside linebacker position. And, he had a great year. He was our leading tackler, second on the team in interceptions. He flew around sideline to sideline at that outside linebacker position. He made a lot of open field tackles for us, a lot of tackles in the tackle box as well. But, he's somebody that really stepped up their game this year as well. And then another first-year starter being middle linebacker, number 22, Gavin Walker. He was a sophomore for us. He was kind of banged up the second half of the season, wasn't really moving as well as he was the first half. But, he's hard-nosed, typical old-school football player, plays downhill, plays hard, And that's one thing about all these kids, Chilhowie, they're hard-nosed football players. They get after it. They work hard. They're willing to do what it takes to win football games.
I'm going to get off of football for just a little bit, and I'm sure Cam will bring it back. But I got a few little fun questions I've been asking players. Leading up to Thanksgiving, this was a big one we've asked, and I've asked it tonight too, though. Are you a ham or turkey guy?
That's a tough one. I would say overall probably a ham guy, but Thanksgiving Day I'm a turkey guy. So, in general probably a ham guy, but Thanksgiving Day turkey. That would be my answer to that.
If you only pick 3 sides on Thanksgiving, what would they be?
Ooh, probably macaroni and cheese, like baked macaroni and cheese. It's got like the breadcrumbs on top. Actually had that last week. It was very good. Mashed potatoes, and I'm a green bean casserole guy. I like green bean casserole.
And then sticking with holiday dinners here, we're just gonna go desserts. But what's your favorite Christmas dessert?
Favorite Christmas dessert? Ooh, I don't know. I guess I typically spend my Thanksgiving or Christmas, whatever it is, with my grandparents, and my grandmother always makes a very good pumpkin pie. Not really a Christmas thing, but it's always there at our Christmas dinner. So I guess I'm gonna stick with pumpkin pie on that as well.
It works.
Yeah, all great answers. Before we get into the preview of those games, I did want to ask you, or I guess kind of more or less preview going into next year, off-season wise, kind of what some of the stuff you got going on this off-season, get you guys ready for next year.
Yeah, so of course we took the mandatory 2-week dead period after our season was over. And we were a short week of school that Thanksgiving week, so we got back in the weight room on Monday this week. As I mentioned with Asher earlier, most of my skill guys here are basketball players as well. So I have a few O-linemen that are wrestlers, but I do have a lot of O-linemen in the weight room right now, a lot of returning guys. We're kind of starting our winter phase right now. We'll roll with it through the end of February. Then we kind of get more into our spring phase, March, April, May, and then our summer phase down in, when we start our summer workouts beginning of June. But we've had great turnout. Every kid that I've expected to be there these first few days have been there. So, I teach one block of marketing and then strength and conditioning, and I don't get all my football players throughout the day, but even the guys that I do lift during the day are still coming after school, maybe getting in some footwork or, speed and agility drills or something like that on the field, just finding little ways to get themselves better moving forward. And I think looking forward to next season, returning wise, I think I got eight returners on the defensive end coming back and 7 on the offensive side. So, we lose more. The Hill kid was a lot of our offensive production this year. But, got a 4-year starter coming back quarterback. As I mentioned, I think Asher is more than capable of making everybody else around him better. And I look for him to do that next year.
This will be my last question for you. It's kind of a 2-parter. What are your top 3 Christmas movies?
Oh.
And if you had to pick an actor, either current or past, to play you in a movie, who would it be?
Oh, top 3 Christmas movies. I think number 1's got to be Christmas Vacation. I like Christmas Vacation. 2, I'll go with Elf at 2. And I guess the 3rd, this is tough. Maybe just like the original Santa Claus movie. So, but Christmas Vacation is definitely an easy one for me.
I think
Solid
Elf has been probably the most common one tonight. Wouldn't you think, Kim?
Yeah, that and Christmas Vacation. Strangely enough, the Santa Claus, that was the first one.
Yeah.
Anybody said tonight. We've had a lot of guests on tonight, and I think somebody. What did Blake mention? One that kind of threw me off. What was it?
Daddy's Home Too.
Yeah, Daddy's Home Too.
Yeah. He's home too.
Never would have thought of that.
No, that's a different one.
Yeah, I have one final question before we get to the. We'll talk about the games. I'm a big, as far as like culture guy. Like I really like listening to people's viewpoints on how they instill culture. Coach Joe Salas out of North Carolina, he's kind of an air raid guy, but he used to do a podcast just specifically to get coaches on and talk about culture, how they instill it, stuff like that. And so that's kind of my question. What's the culture like there? And what are some things that you do to kind of instill the culture that you want?
Yeah, so when I first took over after the 2022 season, we went 0-10. Then I was a coordinator on that team, and that was Coach Robinson's last season. But in my eyes, like, it wasn't a typical 0-10 team to me in a sense. It was, our culture was strong. Those kids were coming to practice ready every day to get better. They were preparing to do what it takes to win on Friday nights. We had I think 6 seniors that year, small senior class, and those guys were out there leading. And so when I took over in winter, I guess March, April 2023, the culture that was set in place has kind of been the culture here at Chilhowie for years. It's pretty unique in a sense that, these guys know what to expect every day when they walk in the door. They know they're going to get coached hard, but at the end of the day, we're going to love them even harder than what we coach them. And that's something I learned from Coach Robinson. He learned a lot from Coach Russell. 2 guys, Larry Russell, who's actually Asher's grandfather. He's still on my coaching staff. He was my head coach when I graduated here. That's something those guys had instilled in them, and it's just kind of made its way through year to year. My 4 cornerstones of when I talk culture, kind of our non-negotiables are effort, accountability, respect, and then nourish. That last one with nourish, it's a big one for us. Is nourish the concept of team and family. We're one big family out here. We put a lot of time, put a lot of hours in. Love your brothers beside you, and give your all every day. And I've, as I said, it's kind of been molded throughout the years here. But I think here in Chilhowie, we have a very just unique culture and some things we do. Before home games here, something we do that's pretty unique is we put up a pretty big teepee outside our field house, and we kind of rotate, offense and defensive starters for each home game. So, those kids, growing up, rec football, you see, all those kids, I want to run out of the teepee. I want to run out of the teepee. And, you get here, you get to that moment, and it's kind of surreal. I also, our middle school program, they practice separate and everything, but they're told they're treated as part of the high school program. And Coach Matt Snodgrass, Coach Ty Fry do my middle school program. They do an excellent job with those kids, and they have fun with it. And those kids, those kids that play in 8th grade, they always come out their freshman year as well. They kind of their first taste of what it's like to practice every day after school and whatnot. You go to school all day, then you got to practice, and they make fun for those kids. And they're pretty successful. They've had some pretty good middle school teams over the last couple of years, and those kids look forward to coming out on Friday nights and wearing the orange and black. I said I'm blessed to be able to call this place home and be able to lead these young men on the field every Friday night.
Yeah, it's a great answers, and I was curious about the teepee because I've not been over there. I've been to Chilhowie several times. I haven't had to make a game yet, but I did notice it on the broadcast. I seen them down there.
Yeah,
I was curious about that.
We got a new TP canvas this year and new poles. And not very fun to put up or take down. Of course, we put it up kind of right before the season starts, and we got it down after the season's over. That can be a bit of a challenge, but I get a lot of props to my booster club for that. They're kind of the people that get that job done, but said it can be a challenge to put up and take down. So
yeah, definitely. I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Yeah, a lot of practice I guess they've had over the years.
Yeah.
If you want to help Blackberry Winter, there are a lot of ways you can do that. When you buy a new living room suit and your old one is still in good shape, then you can donate to us. You go through our website and fill out a form. We don't have any employees, so we have no way of picking furniture up, so we need you to bring it to us in Cedar Bluff. We only take furniture that is in good condition. People that's having a hard time don't need broken down, stained, furniture that makes them feel bad about themselves. And I know used furniture, will have a little bit of this or that, but but nothing that you wouldn't have in your home yourself. You could also help us through financial donations. We buy all the mattresses and beds that we give to children, and that is 90% of Blackberry Winter's budget. You can go to www.blackberrywinter.org and donate from there. We have PayPal and Venmo. PayPal has a monthly subscription, which is helps so much, even $10 a month, just to know that the money is coming in, so when we order mattresses, we can do it with more confidence that we had the money to do that. You can volunteer with us. It's also through the website, and just spreading the word and helping us help others. We always are needing pillows and blankets and silverware and things like that. So you see that stuff on clearance, buy some for Blackberry Winter. It really works so well because it's a whole lot of people that all just do what they can a little at a time, and it adds up to be a lot.
So
Yeah.
we'll get into the preview. There's only 2 games as far as region teams that are playing, and that is the first one with Graham versus Glenvar. Graham's undefeated right now. I think Glenvar, if I'm not mistaken, as well, is undefeated. I usually have this stuff wrote down, but just going off of what I can remember. Glenvar, I know we had mentioned at the beginning of the year. I think Matt Hatfield out of Virginia Preps, I think he does, or Virginia Rivals, over towards maybe the East Coast. Does a great job, though, just previewing teams. And Glenvar is the team that he said, okay, this team, like, they could go all the way. And I think the game they lost to last year was Radford, and Radford had won the state championship. So I think, in my opinion, I don't know what and I was on the other side, but just from hearing people talk that are a lot smarter than me, these might be the 2 best AA teams left in the bracket, and they just so happen to be playing in the state semis. For me personally, I don't know what and all they got up there, but I did hear people talk about their offense being very effective. I'm going to roll with Graham, though. I mean, we can be biased now, like Jay Moore said last week. We try not to be during the season, of course, but now, we got to support the region teams. We had Coach Horton on last night, which is the strength and conditioning coach. Fantastic interview, and kind of gave us an insight on just the weightlifting aspects they got there, and the mindset too. And man, he just talking to him, he gets you pumped up, ready to throw pads on. I think that they'll have them ready this week. It'll be a very physical game, which is what Graham likes. And I think at this point in the year, those are the games that, or the type of teams that win. And they got the experience as well. So I'm going to go with Graham in this one. I do think it'll be pretty close, though. And Coach Sturgill, we'll go to you. I don't know if you've watched the ones we've had in the past with their guest pickers, but I'll kind of say my spiel, then I'll let you say yours, and then Jay Moore will go after you.
Yeah, so I know Graham's undefeated on the year. Glenvar, I don't really know too much about them. I've heard they've got a good quarterback and some receivers that he can sling it around to. But Glenvar is coming to Bluefield, correct? They're playing at Graham.
Yeah.
I'd have a hard time picking against Graham. I feel like, I don't know. The Glenvar, you say they're undefeated?
I believe so. Yeah, I think they're both, which I think they may have been. I think they were the 1 seed out of that. I'll make sure while we're talking.
Glenvar's got a very rich football tradition. Graham does too, especially looking back over these last few years, and kind of 2 teams here at the towards the end of the season. Definitely deserve to be here. But I'm gonna go with Graham too. I think Graham, they're definitely battle tested, played a pretty tough schedule, and I'm sure Glenvar has too. But I'm Graham at home. I'm gonna go with Graham. They looked pretty convincing in that win over Union last week. That defensive line, nasty. I think a lot of times up front it's where you win and lose ball games, and if Glenvar's wanting to come out and and throw it around quite a bit. I think a good defensive line can definitely make that more of a challenge for him. So I'm gonna go with Graham.
Yeah, I think. I mean, as far as football in Southwest Virginia, Graham's kind of the standard right now. In the 2A, all roads in Region D, and then even really the semis here, for the most part, have led through them. They've talked with Coach last week, and then we had the head coach on earlier in the year, and basically their game plan each week it don't really. I'm sure there's a lot of some X's and O's that change, but basically they want to instill their will on the game and make them play the way they want to play, and they've been able to do that pretty consistently. And I feel like Glenbrook obviously is probably going to bring in a good offense. Probably, like you said, probably play a tough schedule. I don't know making that trip, and that, like you said, I think key to the D line. I don't know if they played anybody like that yet. It's kind of naive for me to say I don't know who they played all year in their schedule, but it'd be hard for me to imagine they played a face-to-front 7 like Graham's, especially at front 3 or 4, on that line. So I'm gonna go Graham. I think the defense just too much. I'm not sure what kind of defense Glenbrook has, but I don't think it'll take a whole lot of points for Graham. But just too physical, too dominant in the right places, I think. And I think they go back to Salem one more time. And like you said, we're not biased anymore now, or we can't be biased. So go G-Men.
Yep. I fact checked myself while we're on air here. So they did lose once to Allegheny. And,
Triple A school.
Yeah, so that was 34-7. Other than that, I'm just going to run through it real quick. They beat Galax 34-0, Liberty 50-8, Cave Spring 40-0, Hidden Valley 63-0, Radford 37-12, Patrick County 49-7, James River 40-7, Floyd County 45-13, Carroll County 48-0. Trend of a lot of blowouts, what I'm trying to get at.
Absolutely.
But the last 3 weeks, they beat Martinsville 69-7, and then beat Floyd County again 42-14, and beat Grattan last week 30-8. So their defense seems to be pretty impressive. The Allegheny game is the only game that really got away from them, and other than that, there's only been Floyd County is the only team. Well, in Radford, they got double digits on them this year.
And if I'm not mistaken, I have some friends that from that Covington Allegheny area. I think they were undefeated this year until they got beaten like the second round of the playoffs or something by maybe Turner Ashby or somebody.
Yeah, I actually have it here. Yeah, they were 11-1 to finish out the year, and Turner Ashby beat them.
Ashby, yeah.
Yep.
I think they were in that region they were in. I think there were 4 undefeated teams in that region. I remember hearing that. So that's definitely not a bad loss. Undefeated AAA.
I would imagine the one possibly common opponent there, Grand Plate Galax also, I think, right, Cameron? Yeah. I mean, that might be your only takeaway. I know it's probably early in the year, and it really probably doesn't mean anything now. That might be the one common thing you could look at and see compare scores on, but I mean, a lot of times that really doesn't mean anything anyway. So not a lot to go off of there, but a lot of points they put up, seems like. So that offense is apparently pretty potent. So I say the Graham will have a test for defense. We'll for sure have a test on their hands. It sounds like I don't know if they pass it or throw it, but definitely the D line is going to be a key.
Oh, absolutely,
key to that game for them for sure.
Yeah. And you like Galax. I mean, imagine opening the year off. They already had some number of struggles. They opened the year off with Glenvar and Graham back-to-back weeks.
Oh, yeah.
That's Galax. They've always played a tough schedule, and it's been like that since Dixon took over, and of course Coach Allen was in there, and you have a down talent year. I mean, you got a schedule like that. It's a tough one on you. Every week it's a tough one.
I mean, imagine telling a coach, hey, you're a single A coach, and y'all probably not going to have your standard of year, and you get to start off with the 2 teams that we're playing in the state semis in 2A. it makes for some long nights, I would imagine, leading up to the
Absolutely.
start of the season.
Absolutely.
On the schedule, they actually had Carroll County after that too, so
Mhm.
triple
Yep.
so, yeah, so no off weeks. Yeah, so this is the other game, and I think this is the one we're going to be at Saturday. Rye Cove versus Grayson County. Huge game. I think this is the first region championship that Rye Cove had since 2000, if I'm not mistaken. And I might be wrong on this, but I do follow some Grayson County athletic pages, and maybe I read it wrong. I don't know, but I think this is the first time they've won the region
I
championship.
believe that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so a huge moment for both teams, really. Grayson County will be traveling to the Cove, and that's pretty special right there for that community, and that's a great atmosphere over there. We talked about it when we had the Rye Cove kids on. I had a fan message me this the other day from Rye Cove, and I just kind of wanted to throw it out there. She told me that there's 3 guys from the team that won the region in 2000 that have kids on this team now.
Wow.
And so that's a pretty cool little fun nugget. And, her son's one of them. And she said that, her husband had been telling their son, when they were younger, just kind of dreaming about, you might get a chance to do that one day. And so that's cool, a kind of a cool moment, I'm sure, for a father and son to live that out. But yeah, it's going to be a great game. I don't want to sound, when I say this, I don't want to sound disrespectful to Grayson County, but I really think Rye Cove at their best, I think, or maybe like 14-point favorites in this one. I think Grayson County reminds me a lot of Rural Retreat in some ways, that I think that for me, they're good, but they're hard to kind of pinpoint. The one game I think I go to is George Wythe game, and they beat them both times, but it was close. And I can't take that away from them. That's a good feather in the cap because George Wythe is good. Rainey, the running back they have, is a heck of a running back. But I just don't know. I feel like Rye Cove, especially playing East Side last week, and I think the level of play that East Side, what they brought to that game, I can't imagine that. I don't think it's going to be a letdown of emotions or anything like that, or like an adrenaline dump. I think that East Side game is going to help Rye Cove get past this one and go into the state championship. I don't want to look too far ahead already, but when it gets to the state game, it's a different monster altogether. But I do think that, pending no crazy events happening like any turnovers or just the players not showing up mentally, which I think they will, I do think Rye Cove should win this one.
Yeah. So of course second half of our season, that was Chilhowie's first trip ever to Rye Cove, and man, that place is electric. Our kids love the environment, love the atmosphere. Our buses came pulling in at like 4:50, and it was already packed. That was for a regular season football game. I can only imagine what it's going to be like Saturday afternoon over there. I'm sure it's going to be an environment. That community is going to put a game environment out there those kids will never forget. Which is how it should be at this point of the year. But Rye Cove is a well-oiled machine, if I can say that right. Offensively, man, you can know what's coming, but you still got to stop it. Defensively, they fly around, get to the football, and both teams, Rye Cove and Grayson too, they're two very well coached teams. Starting with Rye Cove, Coach Collier and his staff do an excellent job. They're offense, defensively, and even in special teams, man, those kids are always in position, where they need to be to make plays. And I know at Grayson County too, they have an excellent coaching staff. And, Grayson County seems like a team to me early on in the year. They were placed a little bit from last year, and they were figuring some things out kind of once they've hit their stride after that Bluefield game, and kind of, they took off. Beating George Wythe twice is no easy feat in itself. Especially how kind of that first game went. Grayson gets up, George Wythe comes back, and it's kind of almost a similar story, in that game last week or 2 weeks ago as well. But and even from Grayson to Bath County, that's a haul too. Went up there last Friday afternoon, played that game. That's teams that are able to do that, mature football teams. But I definitely think the game Saturday, man, it's going to be a good one. Like I said, I'm not going to pick this one, but I do think it'll be a good game. Two very well coached teams, two teams that are going to be prepared, the absolute best. Going to be slugging it out Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Grayson County as far as their style of play and stuff like that to really make to play it out in my head visually what it's going to, kind of be like. I just know that place on this stage is going to be, it's going to be a amazing place to be Saturday. I think Rye Cove against the East Side, like you talking about them beating George Witt twice, they got lucky to beat East Side that second time. East Side was kind of in control of that game for the most part. Those two turnovers, especially that one, really, really killed them in the first half. Then Rye Cove never really, even though it felt like East Side was in control of it, Rye Cove was always there. Which is, I think what good teams do. They hang on until they can, figure it out and go ahead. And that last few minutes of that game, that was wild. I've not seen one like that in a while. I do think there, if you're a Rye Cove fan, maybe you did worry about maybe a little hangover from that game moving into this one. I don't think that's the case. I think they're ready. Talking to them tonight, the players, I think that, I feel like stage ain't too big for them. I think, and I think Landon, Coach Collar talked about it a little bit on the tailgate with the Tailgate Talk with the Boys podcast about how cool he is, calm and collected, and how they kind of lean on him. He kind of keeps everybody settled down. I think with his him leading them and the way he plays under pressure, I don't think the moment's going to be too big for him. And I think again this one, line of scrimmage. I think, which most games you could probably say that, but especially in a Rye Cove game, and I think this one, if they can get done up front and O-line especially can get that push with as many good backs they have, and I think they're going to find a way to win. And again, we don't have to be unbiased anymore. So I'm going to say go War Eagle, and we'll be there, and I can't wait. Looking forward to it. Hope the Region D sweeps it this weekend, and got Graham and Rye Cove both going to Salem next week, hopefully. But yeah, I'll take the Eagles.
Yeah, and I just want to second what you said about East Side. I do think the East Side, that I don't have a whole lot of time to get into that game, but we could talk a whole hour on that game. Honestly,
football game.
Yeah, it was a great game, but I do agree with you. East Side had a lot of opportunities. A lot of things. I'm sure that when they go back and watch film, they're gonna, it's stuff that it's not really. Those fumbles and stuff like that. It's just that happens sometimes. Yeah. But they did have a great game plan. And yeah, they probably had the better overall game, but definitely Rye Cove had those moments to where they pulled away, and and Landon and some of them star players. I think that kind of sets the difference. Eastside has it. Don't get me wrong, but having Landon at quarterback, who's a senior, versus a freshman for Eastside, and not that he played bad. I thought he played very well, but Landon was able to go out there and make that big play at the end.
Yeah.
That kind of concludes the episode for us. I want to go ahead and say thank you, Coach Sturgill, for coming on. I told you before the podcast, I wish we were able to kind of get some of your guys on this year. We didn't really know the capabilities of what we could do at the beginning of the year. The program we use actually kind of updated, and we've been able to do a little bit more without getting into all of it. But definitely Asher's coming back next year, so definitely would love to have him on, which probably get him on for basketball. But regardless, we're going to get some of your guys some airtime here soon.
Sounds good, guys. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
I was going to ask you one more thing. What's the kind of the mood around the school, or I guess the feeling should be pretty good basketball this year, I would imagine, right? They got
Yeah. They opened up Monday night basketball team. They beat Johnson County. They got Marion Friday. But our basketball team made the state tournament, I believe, for the first time since '94.
Yeah.
Last season, and a few returners off that team. So yeah,
I couldn't remember how many they had back, but if they had much at all back, I feel like they were probably in a some good expectations, looking and expecting to go pretty far again, or at least compete for So we'll definitely try to keep up with them this year during basketball season. So just want to get that in there real quick and get your perspective on it, what it was like right now early in the year. But
yeah, we actually of course basketball, we made it to we got beat by Auburn in I believe the state quarterfinals, and baseball season, I said we got a lot of 3-sport athletes. Got beat in the state championship game. Got walked off in the bottom of the 7th inning by Rappahannock last year. So
that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, that was a tough one. And, yeah, Coach Robinson's still our baseball coach here. He kind of worked out an agreement. If he stays and helps me coach football, I've been helping him coach baseball now for about 6-7 years. So I stay out in the spring and help him with baseball. But I love it. I enjoy it, and it's just kind of the culture community we have here at Chilhowie. Man, these kids are fun to be around, and you're always gonna get their best effort.
Can't remember if I had when I was in high school or not.
Hot box.
Yeah, I'll say I've only been there as a spectator. It's a cozy environment. Let me tell you,
it is. It is.
You're everybody's right there on top of everything, so it's a fun place to watch a ball game.
Yeah, we're going to get up there this year and for the football games next year.
You guys make it to a basketball game, holler at me. I'll get you some shirts or some hats or something. All right? Give you some good gear to rep.
Yeah, that sounds like a good deal. And hey, I told more. I said I'd like to get around all these football stadiums here soon and do some sort of like a little tour or some kind of thing highlighting them. And I'd like to get over there for sure. I'm sure there's a lot of history there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Not to keep you up any later.
You're fine.
It's pretty late, so we appreciate you coming on. And Mara, if you got anything,
I'm good. We appreciate it, and look forward to talking to you maybe during baseball, but if not, next year during football season for sure.
Guys, I enjoyed it. I said thanks for having me. Definitely enjoyed it.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you guys, and go ahead, Mara. We'll go